Sorry for the delay. We are still waiting for someone who is not here yet.
He will be.
He will join. It's just there we go. Okay. I have this up. I forgot to my bad. I forgot to set up in like the ultra low latency.
Ah.
I always forget to do that. Always forget to do that. And I think I also forgot my VPN on. So
Uh-oh. Hold on. We might need to restart this.
I think we might have a bit of a delay. But if it gets too bad, we'll check. But yeah. Yeah, so we have Dylan with us, who is a better American than I don't know which other Americans, but he's the better one.
We'll find out,
We'll find
He'll
out.
be here eventually.
I just want to double check that we're live on Twitter and Facebook as well. Also, hello to everyone in chat. We've got Mitch. Mitch was here first out of everyone.
Oh.
And then we had Carlito. Hi, Carlito.
Hey, buddy.
And we have Keith and Kai. So thank you all for being here. Keith, of course, is our awesome mod. He works against his actual time zone. So I really appreciate that.
And that is commitment. So
it's hardcore commitment, absolutely. And I would be lost without him 100%.
Mods don't get enough appreciation, but
They
they do
don't.
God's work on streams.
And I feel so crap, right? Because sometimes I'm like, I end the stream and I'm like, fuck, I forgot to say thank you to Keith. And then I'm like,
we'll say thank you now. Thank you for the stream, for moderating it, doing well.
Yes. Here we go. Here's the late person.
Well. Oh, he can't even hear us.
He can't even hear us.
Yeah. Look at how confused those eyes are. You might not even know. He's very
Dylan,
blue today, too.
He is very blue. Double-die. Dylan, can you hear us?
Yeah, that was the problem. I was trying to get that working.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
The ears, they just didn't work. So there's too much hair in the way. It blocks the signal.
Yeah, no, it just doesn't work. It's the hair, actually. It's the hair.
That's what I just
immediately
said. Yeah.
knocks it out. Also, I thought I heard like somebody from California, and so it just didn't work.
Son of a bitch. Son of a bitch, I knew it. So listen, one of us is a war bum, the other's a better American. I don't know what to tell you, okay?
I wouldn't call you that.
That's what he gave. Oh, okay. I was a bit slow there.
This is normal for us. So
no, I assumed. Like I saw the banter, I'm like, yes. Okay, so now that we've got everyone here, and the stream has been running for a while, first of all, thank you for joining us, Dylan. I appreciate it.
Happy to be here. I mean, I'm in Latvia right now. But once I heard Project Constantine needs me, like I'll put anything down. It could be my child's wedding. I mean, I would have to immediately rush over here.
Yeah, when you were like always ready to respect the name, I'm like, oh. I do want to say we do have a fundraiser going, and I know our awesome mod Keith will post the link to it now. So it's part of our big summer fundraiser, and I'm like, it's almost the end of summer, so I'm like freaking out a bit. But we already got. So what we've gotten so far is we've already bought all six night vision devices that we needed to buy, and 2 of the Echo Flows we needed. No, sorry, 2 of the Starlinks that we needed. We are now raising money for a pickup truck for the guys from the 77th Brigade. Yeah, they are awesome guys, and they're really quick with videos. was like messaging him. I'm like, hey, can you send us a thank you video, like a request video? And he was like, I'm on holiday and the guys are busy with busy digging a dugout, but let me ask them. And then like less than an hour later, I get a video. I'm like, wow, okay. This is a really nice turnaround time.
You're like digging the trench, saying Project Constantine.
No. They actually just went and recorded in front of some trees, but you can hear like the digging going on in the background.
They just left the guy. They're like, nah, you're out of here. So
They're like, you three.
I'd like to think they drew straws, and whoever got the shortest one had to stay and dig the rest of the trench.
Probably, yeah, probably. Also, Halina says it is okay. So Halina's my co-director. She says it's okay. We will just rename it to the Summer-Autumn campaign.
Yes. Adaptive marketing. We love it.
There we go. There we go. Also, just hi to the other people in chat who joined. We have Captain Picard. I actually need to check my Restream chat, not just the YouTube chat, because Restream shows me everyone and not just people on YouTube. So far, we only have people on YouTube. Okay, could have kept it on YouTube. Hi to Lisa.
Always good to branch out.
Telling you, like, I think we have like 2 viewers on Twitter sometimes. Yeah. And I'm like, let's just keep it here in case, you know?
You never know.
And also then, of course, Viper and Halina, and Chris is also here. Super. Okay. Now, you guys just got back from a trip recently. I mean, Dylan again went out on another trip. Like, I mean, not Dylan, Devin.
I did. Yeah, we're a very confusing duo. Yes.
Yeah.
He will try to take the credit for it, though. I know that look in his face.
Wait, Devin, have you been to Ukraine?
You know, I've heard of a Ukraine before. It's somewhere up where you are right now, right?
I don't know. I lost track of Ukraine. I lost it. I can't find it anymore.
You lost track Ukraine? That's really
I definitely didn't lose track of Ukraine. Trust me. I'm made of it, aware of its existence every day as I get candidates blowing up my phone. But no, I don't know where Ukraine is. I lost it.
Okay. But it happens. No, yeah, sometimes we just misplace countries. Like, you know, maybe it's in your other pocket.
Did you look?
No, I didn't look. I thought, you know, Ukraine could do without me for a little bit. I mean, I had
Thank God.
I mean, I thought Ukraine needed me out because I got almost with a fist fight actually in Kiev recently. It was very strange.
Yeah.
This I need to hear. In this Kiev, in this mythical Ukraine place, but I need to hear this.
Yeah, in the land of like honeydew and marshmallow clouds, known as Ukraine. I was going to the protests. I had just gotten back from the front, and I wanted to go to the protests because personally, I prefer being on the front when these protests happen, and it happens every time. When there was the big like anti-corruption protests, we were on the front. I think we were on the lake to the south of Konstantinivka, I believe.
We started when we were in like near Mezheva area in Dnipro Oblast, and then we went all the way to Kramatorsk. And they were still going on when we were south of Konstantinivka.
Yeah, it was the entire trip. Like at the start of the trip, the protests started, and by the time we went home, the protests were over. They already got all their objectives. And in this case too, this time though, we were on the Dobrapila axis when this was going on. Now I get back and I'm like, I gotta film some protests here. I can't be on the front line every single time one of these protests happen. Like protests are my jam. You know, I grew up in the DC area. You know, it's kind of like, you know, the thing you do in the
your bread and butter active society person.
I try to be, you know, part of civil society. And as a DMV local from the DC, Maryland, Virginia area, you can kind of look at everybody who comes to DC to protest like snobbily, like, you're in my neighborhood. What, you here to talk about environmental regulation? Yeah, I'm trying to go to work. Get out of my fucking way. Like I can treat them in that manner, which makes me feel big and makes them feel small. And so I enjoy that. I can't do that in Ukraine though, of course. But we were going on the way to the protest, and the taxi that we took because I'm a fat American and I I just couldn't deal with the train system that day. I take a taxi over, and the taxi stops like at a weird place in between one road and another road. Just like it's like the place he shouldn't be letting people off, but he just stopped there. He said toots, I said toots, and I get out of the car, and as I'm getting out of the car, I hear the person behind him go, eh. Then like really like as if he had a heart attack and he fell on the steering wheel after the first bump, like he didn't know that's what the horn was gonna do. And so as he does that, like I get out, I look back, and I see him drive up next to the taxi that we were in, and he just starts yelling. I'm like, "Sukata!" Just like every like bad, vulgar like thing you could imagine to this poor taxi cab driver who looked like like he had just died inside. His eyes, his bags under his eyes, the dude tired. You know, he's trying to bring home a meal to his family, and he just has to watch this guy like thrashing around at him in his general direction from outside the window. And he was big enough that it looked like a Pillsbury Doughboy kind of like stuffing out of the package container as he was leaning out of the window. Like his car was going to tip over from him trying to lean out the window to yell at the taxi cab driver. And so he does that for a minute as the taxi cab driver says nothing back from him. Just a minute in the road, blocking the road as he complained about the taxi cab driver blocking the road, just yelling at the taxi cab driver. And this, it drags me in. I'm a man of chaos. I like conflict interpersonally. Not much on the war side, I've found. I don't getting bombed, maybe not as much, but interpersonal conflict. I'm a human being. I love that drama as much as the next person. I love my reality TV slop. I'm a big bar rescue guy, you know? And
great show.
I watch just kind of baffled. And eventually, I guess he figures that he's not going to get a reaction out of this guy. So he just keeps driving, and he spots us, those who were in the back of the taxi. So he pulls up to the side of the road, and he starts yelling at us, just random insults interspliced with I guess traffic advice, I must imagine.
Probably. Very nice traffic advice.
On the third line, I do the I give him one of these, right? Because I just can't do. It's like I'm
the universal language, yeah, of course.
Oh yeah.
I'm trying to go work, and you're bothering me with Ukrainian traffic law when it's not even. I was just in a taxi. Okay, the dude said get out here. I got out here. Okay, I did it as fast as possible. I heard you beep, and I was like, "Good sir, I'll get out as fast as I could." And once I did that. That dude, I had never seen a man so angry in this country, and I've seen men on the front with pure anger, pure anger. It was as if I had taken his puppy and I said, "Hey, I'm gonna join the World Cup," and I just used it as a soccer ball for an hour, and he had to watch from the stadium or something. Like I had just pile drived his mother, that I had found his childhood home and did graffiti on it. That I had shit in his hat. I had did something to anger this man, unspeakable. So again, this man angry about stopping traffic, parks in the middle of the road, gets out of his car, slams the door, and he just starts stomping over to me, and he shoves me hard, right? As if he wanted to get me off my feet. But I in that moment I'm like, well, gosh, I don't want to get in a fist fight with a $2,000 to $3,000 camera on me, and somebody, and someone takes out their phone, so they start recording, and so I don't need American journalist, American press, beat local bum. I don't need that. I don't need that on my conscience. So my first instinct was just I grabbed both sides of his shirt and I held it strong enough that I actually tore the top half of his shirt down from here to here. And the first thing I could think of, because I was going to say Amerikanski pressa, and then I was like, that is the least intimidating thing in the world.
It's the lamest thing you could have said.
I take pictures for a living, right? Okay, I take pictures in different environments, right? I would say maybe not your tip. I'm not a bird watcher, right? But that's not an intimidating thing to say. So I'm just Amerikanski soldat. Right? I say that as if to be don't You're just
Don't
fucking
fuck
with a
with me.
random
Stolen valor
forwarder.
here from Dylan. Everyone.
No, it's absolutely
Over.
stolen valor. It's lies,
Yep.
lie, cheat, and steal. Okay, the East
Yep.
Coast Code, as we like to call it, taken from a
I
brave
didn't say
American patriot,
I
Eddie
didn't say
Guerrero.
it.
So I just don't want to get in a fist fight with this random dude, and I just need to say whatever's necessary to just make this dude leave me alone. And so after I say like Amerikanski soldat, he like responds like something along the lines of like, but I'm a Ukrainian, you know, like I don't know what that was supposed to mean, but like Amerikanski soldat, Ukrainian, you know. I was like, okay.
I'm
And
Ukrainian
at this-
taxi.
Yeah. So as
No,
I
this
try to
wasn't
lie
he
my
was
way
just
out,
Ukrainian driver. He wasn't Ukrainian
Yeah.
taxi.
Random Ukrainian. I am a Ukrainian driver. We drive with the driver's code of honor. It must,
Right,
you know,
yeah.
never
I must
let
beat you
people
now,
out
good
in
sir.
I don't know, just random anger. And so at this point, other people have taken out their phones and they've started recording. It's become like a scene, you know. It's become like, oh my gosh, people have like I see like little like 90-pound women like with their hands over their mouth, like, what's happening in my Ukraine? You know, just something along those lines. And Patrick Hillsman, who was with me, a good reporter, you know, really does most of his work in the Middle East, but he comes to Ukraine when he can. He like tries to get in between us to like stop like a fist fight from happening.
Patrick is
And
about
some locals
this thin, by the
like
way,
basically
too.
going to this dude like, fucking chill. What the fuck are you doing? like leave the foreigner alone. And eventually this dude like takes a step back and I think he looks down at himself and he sees his shirt is half ripped. He looks disheveled. He looks like a crazy person, and he must have seen like the cameras and the fact that he looked like as stupid as he looked like a real knuckle dragger. Like he just got finished licking windows before he got into his car. And
I love these American expressions. Wow.
Yeah.
American expressions. I never thought of them. Window licker is a good American expression. But
Knuckle
at that
dragger is
point-
also another one I've never heard.
At that point, he checked out and he just like huffed off and he got back into his car and he floored it. He got out of there as fast as he could. And then I had Ukrainians coming up to me apologizing, like afterwards, like we're sorry for the crazy person. And I'm like, I imagine driving's very stressful. You know, I imagine it's very hard.
Yeah.
In Kiev, you know what? In Kiev, maybe there's a point there. But yeah, it was a very strange experience. But I will say to the people at home that if you ever want to get out of a fight, the best thing is to lie and commit stolen valor.
That's going in my blackmail folder of you, by the way. So
It's okay.
It can't be a blackmail folder if I just said it on a public stream.
Sure.
And
I'm gonna
like come to the Ukrainian fundraiser. I think people would, really like to know you. Hello, I do stolen valor in Ukraine. My name's Dylan Burns.
If you hate stolen valor, donate.
I mean, you are joining a list of people. At least you're open about it.
It's true.
At least you're open about it, and you're not asking for the money to be sent to you. You're asking.
Oh no, send me money too. I like money as well. If you want to send me, if you imagine me dressed as a soldier, means you'll give me money. Absolutely. Imagine me with the biggest bazooka possible.
Dylan's
I could get him in the army.
channel is linked in the description. You can go subscribe there, and I'm pretty sure his other channel links are there as well. Also, from Fabiano, thank you so much for the 10 euros and 71 cents. But yeah, thank you so much. So, also just Devin's links are also in the description.
They're there.
If you want a non-stolen valor option.
We have the two for you today. Would you like the stolen valor or the stolen valor less? Your choice. Both come with ranch because America.
Coke and Coke Zero.
Exactly. So
Oh my goodness.
my story is a lot less fun, dude. Like you have the fun story. I just got back from our favorite like body monger, and like it wasn't in a field this time.
It was less insane when you did not describe him that way. But describing him as a body monger is really...
I always call it a flesh trader because that's literally what they do.
See,
they are flesh traders.
Mine is better now, right? Like better American. There you go. So mine has a veil of professionalism
Bodymonger
to it.
sounds cannibalistic. Flesh trader.
What he does is cannibalistic. We actually, there was a grenade in one of the body bags they pulled up, so it could have been at that point.
Okay, sorry, continue.
We went there. We were told last second. He was like, "Hey, you want to come film with us? We got a lot of bodies in." Okay, that's great. We'll definitely go film there. It's somebody we've wanted to talk with for a long time again and do work. Last time, we were out in this very nice field. There was a lot of sun. You could kind of get away from the corpse smell. This time, we were inside a barn, a very poorly ventilated barn, and the smell was just everywhere. I showered the morning beforehand, and at the end of the day, I could feel my hair with this like thick dust that just like clumped into it. It felt like I had been running with my helmet on all day. To be not so graphic with it. To be very graphic with it, we were able to interview him and then watched him work as he identified 4 bodies in various states of decay. Everything from somebody that looked like they were a paid actor just sleeping with their mouth open, is how fresh the body was, to they pulled out a body bag, and within the 10 or so minutes it took them to kind of dig through everything, they said, "Oh, there's bones of like 2 to 3 people in this one," and then had to sort everything out. The first body was that of a Ukrainian POW who had his hands bound with tape, and that tape also bound down to his legs. And they found him with a bullet right in the back of the skull. The others were Russian, but that was the only Ukrainian of the day that they found. Just blatant war crime. And, you know, these guys go through enough bodies that they've seen it enough. It like didn't even affect them. The only time it kind of affected them was one of the Russian bodies that they found. A guy who had been eaten by pigs, and there was not a lot of bones left, or skull in that manner. It's kind of like 2 pieces. His pant leg survived, and they found photos of his children, photos of his wife, and a letter that his wife had wrote him in Russian, basically saying, "Don't be a coward, don't surrender yourself, go fight, and go make us proud." And yeah, so they were reading this letter off next to what was left of him, essentially.
Wow.
Yeah. It was, I think we were there for about 5 hours. Intense 5 hours. That work, Dylan, as you know, is never fun, never easy, but incredibly good to be able to get and to show, because you know, the Russian side doesn't get it at all. So, or do a lot of these things. This guy's also, I was able to get a couple of his 2014 stories as well, because he's been doing this even since before full-scale invasion, before ATO times. He was finding bodies from World War I and World War II. And then that all kind of changed when the separatists had their little thing, and he started to find civilian bodies, and then you know these Russian separatists, and then he'd start to find Ukrainian bodies. They let him kind of go back and forth for a little while to get bodies, to trade bodies back and forth. There was one time near the end of his ability to go and do this, he was driving down the road, and he was going to meet the body truck right before the Russian separatist checkpoint. He had already paid the guys off. They knew he was coming. They were going to make the trade, get out of there. So as they're driving towards this checkpoint, a Russian column just passes right by them. And they're just like, all right, just wave, guys. Act like they're our boys. You know, they just wanted to get there and get out. They pull up, they load the bodies up. He has to bribe the guy to get the bodies. He pays him in a huge amount of cash. And then as they're driving the other way, they see that the Russian column had set up another checkpoint. So these guys are trapped in between 2 checkpoints. And what ends up happening is that they have to drive all the way up to the second checkpoint. And the main guy who's been doing this since even before 2014, had to basically act Russian. He had to try to convince them he was Russian. These are just, Ukrainian trash bodies. I'm going to go throw them out. Just give us 15 minutes. And he's having to like square up with these Russian militants, like get in their face and act Russian while trying to convince them to let him get out. Eventually, they let him pass this checkpoint and they floor it. They just go as fast as they can. And they end up getting out of there. And he ends up getting a call from an unknown number later that's basically like, this Russian group spent like 2 hours searching the surrounding forests to try to find you guys. And they were basically told, like, don't come back if you don't have him. So from then on, he was put on a kill list, a watch list. Because before, he had been like, these are Russian fascists. These guys, we can't trust them. And they found that after they let him pass. So it's like a difference of a day if these guys would have just been shot on sight or actually gotten out with the bodies.
And this guy, just so everyone understands, he's not a soldier, he's a volunteer. He does this.
Mm-hmm. Yep, he goes out with soldiers to hunt for the bodies. It used to be when everything was liberated after 2022, there was a bit more ground gained that he was able to find bodies more back of the line. But now he basically goes to near zero line, or what would be considered a near zero line in this age of a kill zone. Very risky. He's often accompanied by soldiers, but he goes out alone. He doesn't want to take anybody. Luckily, he said he will give us footage of him going out and doing this, which is very nice of him to be able to do, because I've seen clips. I've seen kind of what they post now and again. And I mean, they're under constant threat of FPV, constant threat of attack of any different sort at that range. I mean, that could be artillery, that could be anything really. Some infiltration group gets a little bit too far past and it's them. So this guy very much believes that life is sacred and that no matter who these people are, they deserve to be buried on their land with their family. And it is his mission, Russian, Ukrainian, any sort of foreigner, doesn't matter to him. He wants the families to get their bodies back.
Wow.
Like I said, it's a lot less funny of a story. It really is.
Jill.
But yeah, so there's I imagine we'll do something with a lot of this footage, but it's good to be able to get. It was a last minute thing. So now I have a little bit of chill time before I go back out to the front. So I get to do the fun job of editing footage. Yay.
Yeah, I saw your posts about asking for editors.
Yeah, video editing I'll probably still keep on mind, but there's some stuff on the back end that is, everything from managing posts to copywriting to, Dylan won't give me his music guy still. So I'm having to look for somebody to make I know that damn fucking smile. Yeah. So, I want somebody to be able to do kind of more custom music though, because it's just better overall for an overall product, for an overall scene. And, to have something kind of
I'll
more
reach out to someone I know here in South Africa, but she's
that would
good.
be perfect. Yeah. No,
really
let's connect
awesome.
them. So
Let me make a note of that.
yeah. See, Dylan, I don't need you, motherfucker. Yeah.
Okay, I'll let all the. I mean, they my music. I was a little busy. He did this like on this like indie film project. What is it called? Odyssey, something like I don't know.
Is that one that no one saw? Is that one that was like criticized for being too historically accurate?
Yeah, they did every scene when a minority came on. They did the background track. It said "fuck you, white man" to like really get like all the outrage pumping.
That's different. I thought that they would have just been like stereotypical music, but done in like ancient Greek style instruments.
Yeah, no, but they said that in ancient Greek.
Yeah. Okay, I understand. That makes more sense now. So.
We do have a question from Kai asking, when will you be done editing?
When will I be done editing?
Yes, when will you be done pushing your boulder?
When I'm dead, probably.
No, with the
So,
specific.
so the
Not
next
anything
project
with
coming
the
up,
story about the guy who collects
ah,
corpses, and you'll be done
that
once you're
one.
dead. That is.
I mean, that's true. That would be actually the best way to end that. Would be my GoPro on and him coming to find me. I think that would actually that'd be like full
Wow.
circle, you know?
Full. Oh my god. Okay.
Yeah, I would be the
I
first
see the
ever
vision. I
posthumous
see the
director,
artistic vision.
right?
100% there. 100%.
I'd have to write down the whole plan. All right, come get
Obviously.
me at this time of day, at this angle. You know, my camera will be facing down, so it would be good.
And
You
then
pick me
final
up.
editing notes.
Yeah, and then it's like I do a pre-recorded voiceover of like, if you are watching this, I am dead now, and it's just a pan up of my face just laying there like. Dylan would
Do they
edit it
count
for me.
Californians?
You know, I asked him, and he said he would come and get me. So
More liberal
apparently.
than I am.
So Mitch, that's saying something.
Yeah. No.
So Mitch says that is Stephen King level. Also, Mitch sent us 30 Canadian bucks. So thank you very
Hey,
much
thank you,
for
buddy.
that.
To answer the
Yeah.
question about editing for that specific thing, current timeline is maybe 2 to 3 months. I have this big police documentary that I'm working on. There's probably going to be a prequel video that I cut out of it because if I was to leave that section in, it would be about 2.5 hours long. And that's a bit much to ask people to sit down and go through, especially on something I want someone to see all of at one time. After that, there's a piece on Donetsk firefighters because during this last trip, I kind of wrapped up filming with them. I've been out with their evacuation groups 3 times. Been out reporting with them when ballistic strikes have hit in Kramatorsk. And this last time, I was granted exclusive access to be at their head fire station in Donetsk, in Kramatorsk, and it got hit with 2 Shaheds while we were there. Dylan actually saw the Shaheds coming to hit me.
Dylan was
Yeah,
like, yes, I
coming out,
organized
yeah.
those to come.
Wonder where that's going.
That's the exact line he says in the video. Oh, I wonder where that's going. And I'm running down to the shelter. You found out. So they won't let people do that anymore, by the way, Dylan. Like I was the last one that they were letting do that.
Thanks.
You can use it for Kramatorsk. I'm fine with that.
See, he's so gracious. See that he waits till everybody's watching. Say, Dylan, as a charitable man, as a charitable California contributing to the tax base, you can use my footage to help buttress your shitty Nokia phone style recordings that you tend to do somewhere vaguely near the front. Are you usually in Lviv, Dylan? I don't know. Are you a Lviv sitter? I can't tell.
You know, all I'll say is that California gives more in taxes to the federal government. So in a way, this is kind of just like a continuation of that trend.
That's the most Californian thing you could have said.
You're welcome.
Oh my goodness, I love this.
This is the chaos you wanted, isn't it? So
Absolutely. I'm like, yes.
when we first started working together and going like back and forth like this, our field producer Bogdan tried to stop us a few times. He's like, guys, we're all friends here. Guys, we're all a team here. Now he accepts it. He's just like, you guys, you know.
Well, that's also because he's East Coast too. So like he knows
he's Eastern Ukrainian, which is something I don't have an issue with.
It's still East.
No, it's just eastern part of the U.S.
Look. You just have to accept that you're
look.
spiritually Lviv. You're spiritually Lviv, Devin. You're spiritually Lviv.
I live farther in the east than you do.
Spiritually,
when you're here.
it's East-West FM, right? And you're leaning heavy on the West.
We're a team, okay?
In fact, I would say you're more spiritually Lublin. In fact,
you think so? Yeah.
Yeah, I think you're somewhere in Poland.
I think you're Smolensk, all right? So.
I'm spiritually Murmansk.
True.
Oh my goodness. Also, I love how being spiritually Lviv is like thrown around
It's
as
such an insult. It's such an insult.
It's like, oh, you're based in Lviv?
Yeah. Get down on that level. Yeah. So you have two guys who go run around the front being all crazy, that's is a different world. So
No, absolutely. But one of them is spiritually Lviv.
we won't say who, but there's only one of us who looks like he would be in Lviv, and he has some blue shitty
the
lighting
one
and
with
a
the one with wearing
RGB
glasses
microphone right
and
now.
I mean,
what is that
one
shirt?
of the
This is actually a pattern from like the West in the U.S. The desert area, the Wild West.
West, you say?
Yeah.
West, I say of the U.S.
That's interesting.
Wait for it.
I just find geography fascinating.
Do you know there's only one country that separates the west part of the U.S. and Ukraine?
Did you learn that in Californian education system?
I learned that from looking at a fucking map, you barbarian.
Surprised they print those over there.
We have to turn them upside down to understand, but yes,
Oh my goodness. My word. So
we make a really good team. So
excellent team. Excellent. I love it.
Somebody's just said in chat, Devin looks like a guy from Lviv or Lutsk, and Dylan looks like a guy from Dnipro. Dnipro?
You've
fair,
never gotten
actually.
Dnipro.
That's actually fair.
It is. You usually get Moldovan.
What chat are you on? I'm not seeing it on my side.
Oh, it's one of my chatters. One of the East Coast chatters.
Ah, okay. Yeah. Okay. You see how they're just so hateable, So
I'm just blaming my software setup. You guys are like out here throwing shit. Oh my word. Also, we do have Chris being like, just imagine you are trying to put a tourniquet on someone after being hit, and these two fuckers are doing this shit nonstop beside you.
It's true. It's true, though. Now, imagine I'm the one with the tourniquet, and I look at him and I go, do I really want another East Coaster in the world? Fine, I guess. So.
To be fair, I'd rather bleed out than let a West Coaster touch me.
Yeah, so.
I was gonna come up in your defense, Dylan, but you prefer to bleed out, so I guess. Sorry.
Absolutely.
As the gracious Californian, I'll let him. That's the thing.
As long as they don't put no West Coast tag on my toe, I'm fine.
Once you're dead, I can do whatever. Most intimidating. Let's shut him up. I have never seen him do that before.
Oh my goodness. So
hey, Dennis Daviov just put in thanks for telling the truth about Zelensky and Siersky. Cheers. I love my favorite pilot expert in chat. Love to see him.
Welcome, buddy.
I should have probably sent you a co-stream link, only realizing that now. Then you could have co-streamed. I'll do it next time.
There's always next time.
Definitely always next time. Okay, super. I didn't even think of it. I didn't even think. I was like, but yeah. Oh my goodness. So let's check donations. No further donations. It's fine. But everyone is distracted by this awesome chat, so it makes sense. People are going to donate afterwards. I'm convinced, 100% convinced.
They better. If you don't donate, you're East Coast, okay? You're spiritually Lviv. So
you need to take it from the West Coast to steal an East Coast idea and try to make it their own.
Hey, I didn't hear it, so.
So, all of this being said,
I've got 5 more chambered. I'm holding back so the show could move forward.
No, it's fine. We can schedule them at certain timestamps for you to just unload.
I appreciate that. Just give me like a signal, like a finger in the air or something.
Got it.
It's like a gun up and, you know.
I do want to talk about your I don't even actually know. Now we know that Devin's body footage of the bodies will only be done in 2 to 3 months. Now I'm wondering, the footage both of you posted on your social media, was that recent, or is that also from 2 to 3 months ago?
If it's the artillery going off when we were kind of standing in there, that was a more recent
under the neck,
where
Dylan was like, "Look at this war bum," and then people were. I read the comments, and there were people who legit did not know who you were. So they're just like offering random as input. He's like, "No, he just hasn't washed in a few days," or like, "Is this?" So that was my favorite. Like, they don't realize it's you being like, "Hey, who's this war bum?" They're just like, "Hey, be nice."
Yeah, how dare you insult the brave? That guy might look like a bum, but he's okay.
Guy, he's all right. Dylan, but
he still hasn't washed in a few days, but that's just Dylan, you know. So,
so I want to talk about that experience, but more specifically about when you guys go to the front. You've obviously, I'm assuming, already have established relationships with the unit you go to. Or is it sometimes they're just like, "Hey, random journo, come join us"?
It's kind of a weird mix, I would say. Actually, a lot of times the initial plan we go in with changes quite a bit when we're actually in the field. There's some.
I mean, it is Ukraine. That makes sense.
Oh, yeah. You know, frontline stuff goes through, press officer doesn't want to work with us in the end, or they keep switching things on us. It's as much war conditions as it is interpersonal press officer ego trips in a way. You know, there's a lot of brigades that we have really good standing with, and those are kind of like our main backups. But I don't know. I think we always try to work with new people as well, get different experiences, different gear. Is that about right?
Yeah, I mean, there's not like any particular unit that I spend the majority of my time with. I think the longest I ever did was I did demining in Balaklia for like a month, and I just lived with them for a month and filmed in the minefields and stuff, which was a really cool experience, especially because they could drink you under a table. It was fascinating to watch. And like if they drank too much and they didn't want to demine the next day, it's like, and they told the people to like, "Oh, fuck off." It's like, well, I'm gonna go demine then. No, you're not. So you just wait until they can go demine. But most of the time, I'm trying to like diversify the amount of units I'm working with. So there's not like a lot of times I go back to the same team to go film the same position, because I'm trying to get as many different perspectives and points on the front as possible. Now, there's certain like brigades that we have a good working relationship with the press officer, so we can be like, "Hey, something fell through. Do you think you can get me something on short notice?" And they'd be like, "We got you. We can get you an artillery team here. We can get you something over there." And that's very helpful. But yeah, a lot of things fall out in the last second, and then press officers, and like I'm fine like sabotaging myself. 80% of press officers should probably be reassigned to like go work another place on the front. Okay, I'm not saying they should all.
He didn't say it. Devin said it.
I didn't say the two.
Dylan said it.
I didn't say anything. I didn't say anything like. I didn't say the 155th. I didn't say scholar. I didn't say any of those words except for right now.
Not at all.
What I will say is that a lot of people have chosen press officer positions because it's considered safe work, right? Yeah. And so that's why they're there. They don't really have a real passion for the position. There's other people who choose a press officer position, and whatever amount of authority they have, they love to rule over it, and they love to make it as difficult as possible for you. And if you're not part of a news agency that has 3 letters, then they're not really paying attention to you. But
at all,
there is this small group. This hidden, you have to dig really hard to find them, but there's a small group of just banger press officers
So
who were
good.
either fixers before the war, or those are the best ones. The best ones were people who were fixers before the war, working in 2014 to 2022. Those people get you the best stuff. I remember there was this guy in the 42nd that was just, I went, filmed air defense stuff. He was like, hey, you want to go to the contact line? I mean, yes. Yes. Okay. Russians 500 meters that way. Let's hope they don't assault while you're here, you know, and like just getting fantastic footage. Or the 68th have been very good to me. The 44th, it was so hard to get an embed with the 44th. We would just send paperwork after paperwork. But when I do, they put me up with the Cyborg, and we go for 22 kilometers on foot, getting some of the best on-the-ground footage of the battle for Druskivka that currently I believe is in existence, right? Because we just kept going and kept going and kept going until eventually said, you know what? They've sent us 9 requests. I think maybe they really want to film with us. Let's stop them from harassing us. They were about to get a restraining order on these people. It's probably easier to just send them to the front.
Which one are we going with?
It really is sometimes like talking with people a lot, building a relationship. Some press officers that are good have been burned by a lot of people, and sometimes they'll need recommendations beforehand. Or like this, you know, we just kept pestering them enough until they finally said, fuck it, you know, we'll take these guys. Why not? You know, the good press officers, they are very few and far between. Dylan and I work in very different ways. Dylan is a very location-based documentary person, and I tend to be either more subject-based, either like with my drone interceptor thing that I just did, or I'm working on something about mid-range strike drones where I'm focused on the drone and the technology itself. But I also like to work with individual brigades. You know, the police brigade documentary, 85% of that is probably working with Hajak. And that's also why I have like 4 fucking Hajak patches up here and a little wooden thing I was given. I was given that by a guy named Bogdan, who is the commander of a Bogdana position. So it was Bogdan's Bogdana. It was great.
You know, there was some commander who's like assigning different tools, and he was like,
even Bogdan was like, I like to say Bogdana for Bogdan. That was great. No, it is really like a challenge sometimes. I like going back and working with a lot of these same units because for Hajak, for this patrol police brigade, I find it very interesting.
Sorry, Hajak sounds so French.
It kind of does, doesn't it? Yeah, Hajak. Like, that could be like
it's like Jacques, but it's like Hajak. It's like
the male version. Yeah. It actually means predator, which is why they have the Alien versus Predator helmet.
That makes way more sense. Thank you.
These guys are all patrol police cops. They all volunteered to basically give up a cushy gig, sitting in some safe city, driving around a patrol car, you know, handing out speeding tickets to someone going 1 kilometer over the speed limit, to going and fighting on the front, whether that's infantry, whether that's anti-air, artillery. You know, these guys, I find them very fascinating, and I like to very much dive into one particular subject or topic. So I tend to, you know, if I find a good press officer, I stick with that. That's my ride or die there. But, you know, branching out as we do, we always hope to find more, and we're always disappointed.
I'll see if I can pimp out our units. Dylan already knows. He already gave good review about the 42nd. So I'll reach out to the other ones. Maybe we can sort you out.
I always love to put more patches on the board. So
it's weird for us, right? Because I feel like, you know, we had to, like, as an NGO, we had to kind of go and evaluate how are we going to be as successful as we possibly can, right? We're not a big NGO. We're 3 people. And one of them is an active duty soldier, right? So you can imagine there's a limit to everything. And, you know, me being based in South Africa, there's also only so much I can do from here. So we had to go and decide, or like to go and look, how can we be as effective as possible? And we made a choice, and it's a difficult choice sometimes to stick to that choice. And we constantly have to remind each other this is our choice, that we focus on 3 battalions, and then a 4th one we help with Starlink subscriptions, right? And it's a difficult thing because we're like, we still get these requests from other people, and we'll be like, hey, right now we can't help you. but try again in a while. And then they actually remember to try again in a while. I'm like,
oh no, yeah.
I'm like, this. You've been asking us every month, like every 6 months for 18 months now. I'm sorry. So then I saw, I was watching one of Preston Stewart's videos, and he's like, oh yeah, they're helping this unit now. I'm like, oh yes, finally someone helped them. Right?
Good.
I'm
Yeah.
like, these poor people, I've just been waiting for like a year and a half. But then
Everyone
also,
is so strapped. Like that's the
yeah,
horrible thing is that every group is like, hey, we're a year out, we're 6 months out, we're try again
sure.
eventually. Like, but there's always more demand.
Yeah, it's crazy. And I'm like, that's what I'm like, so it's gotten to the point where like myself, Helena, and like a few other like NGO directors will just message each other. We're like, hey, we've got a request. Can you fill it? And
Yeah.
usually we're able to fill each other's requests. And right now it's like, sorry, we can't.
Yeah.
Um,
That's the hard thing with the economy as it is at the moment. So
yeah, also I feel like attention spans, I think
yeah,
is also a contributing factor.
big thing. So and
Yeah.
you know, maybe not necessarily attention span even. It could just be that because I know this happens sometimes when there's a lot of either very good news or when there's this talk of like, oh, the war's about to end.
Mm-hmm.
The people that I know who run NGOs who do support networks, they always get less donations when people start talking that way because everyone goes, oh, it's getting over, so why do we need to do anything? And that just
Honestly,
propagates and
the
hurts.
copium of like, I'm like, yeah. And with like, even with the recent, and I don't want to get into politics too much, but with the recent changes, um, I saw someone post, there's like, oh yeah, well, this is it. Um, because of this, I'm no longer going to donate to Ukraine. And I'm like, cool. And I tweeted, I messaged like on Twitter, I was like, hey, by the way, our guys on the front still need it. They actually still need the equipment, right? They've got families to get back to. And he's like, I don't see, like, he's not going to help a country that's intent on committing suicide. And,
No.
and what was the other one? He's like, if they don't fix this, they're as good as dead. And I'm like, and you've just handed them the gun.
Loaded it, cocked it. Here you go. Yeah.
Absolutely. I'm like, wow. So it's difficult as well because I also like, and I think it would be interesting to hear from your side. How do you look at this? Because you obviously have more insight into what's going on than most people. But I'm assuming there are also some things that you get told that you're like, oh, you can't talk about this yet. So how do you navigate that space when you're like, this is reality, but you also know that if you tell people too much of this reality, they'll get demotivated. But you have to twist. How do you navigate that? Not just like as a journalist, I feel like both of you are really good at storytelling. So not just in your storytelling, but also in your, like more your, like your more parasocial relationships on social media, right? How do you navigate that?
Do you want to take it first, buddy? You want me to take it?
Sure. I mean, I can take it first. We might have different philosophies about it. I don't, because I talk to different journalists and I'll be very blunt. I think we have to be cold and honest about what's going on the front and cold and honest about our political leadership. I've had conversations with journalists that have like interviewed Zelensky or interviewed like really high level people, and they'll be like telling me their questions. It's like, oh, I'm going to ask him this, and this. Is like, what do you want to ask? I'm like, oh, let's talk about the Hostomel military administration and the corruption scandal. Oh, let's ask Zelensky about why does Scala even like exist in its current form? Like they have more men than they should legally be able to under Ukrainian military structure to stay under Syrskyi's command. Oh, let's talk about like this deserter that was shot, or oh, let's talk about like Dylan. You can't ask any of these questions to Zelensky. Are you fucking insane?
They wouldn't let you.
You can't ask these questions. No, you need to ask him like, why is Ukraine so pretty? It's like, yeah, I mean, Ukraine is very pretty, but this type of light to me is a disinfectant. And I have found when I talk to people about the war, and I am honest about corruption, and I'm honest about how brutal the war is, and honest about everything, and I give people a complete perspective, they're more willing to listen to what I have to say and to my conclusions, right? The fact that I'm willing to be like, yeah, in this instance, volunteer funds were misused, right? This is necessary in order to make sure volunteer funds are correctly used, so we don't have a report in some year that says 30 to 40% were like relocated to somebody's dacha, right? That's why we need to talk about any individual instance that this might have happened. That's why we need to talk about instances of abuse and instances where, you know, the disaster of Hulepole, the fucking rotation disaster that happened there, or any other number of military tragedies that could be pointed at, decisions that should not have been made. So I believe it needs to be cold and honest, because I remember I had a conversation with I also run Track Ukraine, which is an organization that tracks politicians' views on the war. And when I talked to these candidates, I remember recently, it was like, hey, I just got back from a protest against the Ukrainian government. And they looked at me like I was crazy. Like, what do you mean? Number one, they're like, why are you telling me about protests against the Ukrainian government? And number two, how are there protests against the Ukrainian government in wartime? And to some people, that's a challenge. The fact that this is all happening is discontent. But to me, this is civil society. This is showing that Ukraine is stronger than the guy who voiced Angry Birds in the Angry Birds movie Ukraine edition, which of course Zelensky did, which is what I know him for. But
not Paddington Bear, his best role.
That's when I think of Zelensky, I of course first think of his most important role in his life, which was voicing the Red Bird in the Angry Birds movie. But to me, that was an opening for a conversation of the strength of Ukrainian civil society, the fact that even in wartime under martial law, democracy is not something that happens every 2 to 4 years. Democracy is something that you practice 365 days every single year, and you can protest during martial law. The first protest broke military curfew in order to show their immense discontent at reversing the advances the Ukrainians literally bled and died on the street for during Euromaidan. When you tie a nation's image to one man or to a group of elites that people know on their TVs, then you make them the pillars that hold up the nation's reputation. If there was a scandal tomorrow that Zelensky had engaged in some horrible corruption, I'm not saying that that's going to happen, but if that was to happen, Ukraine should be stronger than one man. And if Zelensky was removed tomorrow by the people in a mass movement, the country should be able to continue resistance and continue existence. And having that conversation bluntly and coldly with candidates got me a lot of Track Ukraine pledge signings where they say, you know what, you've convinced me, I'm going to go vote in favor of Ukraine aid. I'm going to go do X, Y, and Z, because what it felt like sometimes when you're talking to pro-Ukraine people was like, you don't talk about these things. You don't highlight these things. No, talk about these things openly. Let's have frank conversations about it, because the Russians can't. And we should take advantage of what the Russians can't do. And an open civil society dialogue is something that is impossible in Russia. Something that I found fascinating was going on Russian social media after these protests, and they're literally like, well, why can the Kohols do it, but we can't? Why can they protest their military leadership? What the fuck? Why
are they effective in their protests?
They're freaking out. They're freaking out because it's foreign to them. It's the idea of holding their government accountable is literally foreign to modern Russian civil society.
Shocker.
So this is a strength of Ukraine, and it's something that most freedom-loving people can relate to, can sympathize with. In fact, I would even say should learn from.
No, we actually have now very similar approaches. Before I lived in Ukraine full time, I did think that there was kind of a necessary line that needed to be drawn. You know, there was inside baseball, and then there was, you know, the public conversation on there. But inside baseball doesn't work. And it doesn't work in the regards of the country. It doesn't work in the regards of actually wanting good changes that people can and should push for. The Western press is, for better or worse, a large influence here. So if we can talk about things that the average Ukrainian, the person who is actually involved in these, whether it's protests, whether it's dissatisfaction, want spoken about, we can add additional pressure that just doesn't happen. There can't happen from the Ukrainian side in that same level. I remember getting a bunch of shit for talking about Scala stuff before it became a very big kind of scandal. A buddy of mine who I'd known, Azad, he was working with a Sky News team. Their journalist team came under direct fire from Scala after being told to wait somewhere. Luckily, they survived because they were in a bulletproof car. But then they were told to basically like get the fuck out of here, or we're going to kill you directly. And they kept quiet about that for a year. They reported it up the chain of command. They tried to tell the press service. They went directly to the ground forces command and was like, hey, what the fuck? They were offered chevrons and told that they would it would be looked into. And they never got anything back from that, ever. So inside baseball doesn't work. And a lot of people will be very angry about the fact that people do talk about it. And there's 3 names that pop into my head right away of people who will try to talk the inside baseball, inside Ukraine, and fuck it up every single time. There's one of them I have a running counter for who's like, my sources have told me this. He's wrong every single time. But he always says his sources have told him. God, I hope it's somebody pranking him. And then you have the people who will just...
Have you considered that the source is the bottle?
You know, I have. And I would prefer it to be somebody in a brigade who doesn't like him. Who's just like, hey, I'll tell you something. Yeah, come here. Believe this. Yeah. And then you have people who will do everything in their power to never once mention an issue that could take away from a perfect worldview of Ukraine. Mm-hmm. They will sidestep every issue. They will kind of like double speak around it to where they talk about it, but they never say anything. They never take a stance. They never show anything. They never show anyone else taking a stance. They just say, this thing is bad, or this thing isn't going away. And I understand why they do that. But I do think less of them when they do. And I do have to remind myself kind of like, all right, I get why they're doing it. Just let them fucking do it. Let them do their shit. But it does bother me now, because I do think that there is some cleansing property and some power that should be pushed by good people talking about these issues, even if they are uncomfortable sometimes. And of course, there's stuff that we as journalists, sorry, I'm going to cut you off again. East Coast opinion doesn't matter. There is some stuff, of course, that as journalists working in the field, that you see, that you go, this is going in my after-war file. Whether that's something you hear, whether that's something you're shown, whether that's something you encounter, and you just go,
it's not the time yet.
Yeah. And I think everyone has that. Everyone has a folder. The more time you spend on the front, the bigger that folder gets. That stuff I think is fine not to talk about until after, but as long as it does get eventually talked about.
I remember I had this interaction where, long story short, a Ukrainian soldier threatened to execute me and my fixer Bogdan on the side of a road for just absolutely ridiculous reasons, right? He was on his phone. He almost crashed into us, got angry at us, and then was threatening. Ridiculous situation. And to me, I remember thinking, do I talk, if I say this in public, will people, how will it hurt Ukraine? And immediately I knocked myself out of that thinking, because, there's a few scenarios I could play out. I could not talk about it. The story gets out, and the story is now that I suppressed it. Then there's a scenario where I don't talk about it, and we just pretend that there's no such thing as PTSD or trauma related, war crazy. War crazy is a real thing. And after this war, the mental health needs of Ukraine are going to be, there's not really going to be something comparable this century to the widespread need for mental health assistance in the country. And so I firmly believe that the after war folder should stay as small as possible, be mostly related to security issues or social issues that could literally be put on the back burner because there's other more important stuff. And it's very difficult to have this conversation honestly right now, right? So I think that there has to be limits to what you put in the after war folder. And so I have at my time forced myself to like fight with press officers who's like, hey, you interviewed the soldier, and he talked about how his commander wanted to put him in the middle of this field, had never visited it, and was going to get them all killed if they listened to their orders. And like, we don't want to get the soldier in trouble, so how about you remove it? And it's always the way they sneak it in there. We don't want to get the soldier in trouble. Like, I'm going to be the one getting them in trouble. Mind you, most of the time I'm saying something like, what do you want? Hey, like, what's something that's difficult for your work? I was like, that's a question. And someone could be like, oh, being away from family is like a typical answer. But no, this guy went on a 5-minute diatribe about how his commander sucks ass. And so is it my job now to cut it out because the press officer's like, oh, I don't want to get them in trouble? The dude knew what he was saying when he said it. And so I'm not going to take the voice from this person. And it's important that we show this type of divides and not pretend that Ukraine's some flowery picture where everybody woke up, kissed their framed picture of General Sirski next to their bed, and then went off to do their due diligent duty. You know, like, no, that's not how war works. And so I think Devin's right. I think we call it out. Whether or not, even if, like, I remember saying to Devin, and I wanted to tweet this out, and now I'm committing to tweet it out. The next person that is a Western journalist that gives Zelensky a softball interview should be publicly humiliated. They should be dragged through the mud. Like, this is not the political environment right now to be going to Zelensky and asking, like, how much does Ukraine need help? Like, yeah, ask those questions. Of course, that should be the majority of the interview. You're speaking to a Western audience. But also, Zelensky won't do interviews with the local press. He doesn't. Yeah. He doesn't do interviews with local reporters. He doesn't do press scrums really with local reporters. This is left to other officials because local reporters are going to ask him questions that are going to be weighty in a way that could have consequences, and he avoids them. And so I think that Western journalists, not only do they have a responsibility to a Western audience, but they have a responsibility to a global audience and a Ukrainian audience to make sure they ask questions about the future of Nabu, the future of the military command, why Fedorov was fired, what reforms are still going to be led through or still going to be implemented, if they're going to actually be enforced, the reforms, or we're just going to allow them to be on paper, whether they're going to be actual reforms. These are things that should be asked, not only because they're important to Ukrainians, but if you want to convince Westerners 5 years into the full-scale war to keep sending assistance to this country, you're going to have to address these questions openly, directly. And if Zelensky goes into this interview and he nails it, he just knocks it out of the park, that's something that could really not only convince people at home and change polling, which has been going in a more pro-Ukraine direction, but it can convince policymakers. It can convince the people who read foreign affairs before they go and vote because they're into it like that. It can convince advisors. And so I am a full disinfectant, put the light on it, expose the corruption, expose mismanagement, expose all of it if you can. And also that at this point, there should even be a certain rally around the truth effect where these people who are getting these interviews that have benefited from the privilege of having access to Ukrainian high society and have made a lot of fucking money doing it, they have a responsibility to ask these tough questions. And if they don't, they shouldn't be welcome at the bar with the reporters that do real work on the front line. They should be kicked out.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this is the reason Dylan and I will never be able to speak with them. But yes, no, I fully like co-sign that. Like, look, the way that I've kind of thought about a good metaphor of saying it is that if you cross your legs and you sit on one of them and it starts to go to sleep, right? Now, there might be some people that say, hey, if you get up, if you move that leg, blood will flow through it and it'll start to hurt a bit and it might not feel that good. Well, the other option is that if you take their advice, you sit there, you don't address it at all, eventually it will just start to rot away. You will always need to address the issue. The quicker the better. And if it gets addressed, you can still walk and you're just fine. If you leave it for a long time, it's going to be a much harder road to go down.
Absolutely. I mean, it's one thing I'm hearing from both of you actually is, and it ties into something that happened recently with slitsvo.info. I think I'm pronouncing them correctly. Slitsvo.
I don't know if I've ever heard it pronunciated.
I also have never heard it pronounced.
Got it. We'll say it's correct.
The .info ones that start with slit.them. But they had a court ruling against them, prohibiting them from publishing research on corruption about a specific department. And they could not publish it. And I think 5 or so other Ukrainian media houses then said, well, there's no interdict against us, so we'll publish it.
Yeah.
So what I'm hearing from you as well is it's this solidarity that's needed amongst journalists. And trying to phrase this in a nice way, without stepping on toes. But I feel like there's always this thing of like, you've got people who are like really into it and committed to telling the truth and committed to the profession that is journalism. And then you've got other people who are like, they stumbled upon it along the way and the likes and the clicks are awesome.
Sorry, go ahead.
That's not an excuse though. I didn't decide one day I'm going to be a journalist, right?
Yeah.
I was following the war at the start of it. People came to my channel thinking that my coverage was decent. And slowly from there, I went from covering the war in my bedroom to on the front line within like 2 months, right? Because I made active decisions that slowly dragged me closer and deeper into the war. So, I mean, there's no excuse. If you've been covering the war for 5 months, then maybe you don't know all of the details of who even the defense minister is. You just know that there's a good guy and then there's a bad guy, and I support the good guy, and that's fine. Also, I do want to, but again, if you've been doing this for this long, you should have an idea about what you're doing. You should be asking pertinent questions. Also, I've seen people saying, I saw at least one person say, it's not the job of foreign journalists to tell Ukrainians what to do. I'm not saying that we're not dictating policy. We're not dictating who should be appointed in what cabinet position, but journalists also need to be honest about the situation on the ground, right? It's not my job to go out there and be Sierski's fluffer and like pretend that everybody likes him and that everybody, like, the real problem is no, it is my job to report what's happening when it comes to abuses in the military, when it comes to issues of corruption, to report these things, report what society thinks about these things, and let that speak for itself. If people want to ask my personal opinion, I can have that opinion, but it must be hard line separated from my work. My biases is going to bleed into my work, because from the moment you choose your camera angle, you're showing your biases. You're saying this is more important to focus on than this. So your biases are inherently going to sink into your work. The fly on the wall journalism can't truly be fly on the wall journalism. It's going to have your biases injected into it. But it's not our job to decide for Ukrainians, but it is our job to be honest with Ukrainians.
Yeah. No, absolutely. There's people who have been doing this job much longer than both myself and Dylan. I chose to come out here and do this journalism thing, but it started out much as, I want to come out here and I want to tell stories. And then it just kind of rapidly, kind of like Dylan said, advanced into what I'm doing today. There's people who have better education, better quote unquote traditional education backgrounds in journalism. There's people who have just started journalism. And there are those who look at the situation here and know what cards to play to get influence, to talk with people, to build on that. And to do that, you sometimes have to play the game that isn't journalism. You sometimes need to play the game of, real social politique, if you want to call it that. How can I climb the ladder? How can I talk to the next most important person? What can that person get me? Whereas, Dylan and I tend to focus on stories that not a lot of other people will cover or want to cover, or, sometimes brigades that have never once had press with them. And they're important. They're interesting. They're interesting guys. And just, they're not the big names. So no one gives a shit. Same with everything in the political realm that has been happening in Ukraine. People can talk about it. People have better access than either of us have that could go and talk about it in a very meaningful and deep way. And they choose not to. They choose that because they know, well, they won't get that again then. And they like it. They like having that. I think that is something very distinctly different than journalism. But that journalism in and of itself is kind of a weird semi-dead term in my head. So that's my own black pilling of the term. So
last thing I'll say on this is journalists must be willing to get blacklisted. This is not about making friends. This is about contributing to the historical record, right? Yeah. I'm not welcome back at the 22nd anymore, and that's fine. If they don't want me back with the 22nd anymore, that's perfectly fine. I think the reasons are silly, but that's
what
just
happened?
How
Can I ask?
That was his story about the.
At this point, I'm 5 years in. I don't care anymore. So okay. I can say perfectly fine. I don't care. They might care, but I don't care. I reported on the attack into Kursk, and I said how they actually did it. And that was the problem. I didn't say the stylized version. I talked about, there were soldiers that dressed in civilian clothing in order to blend into the local population, in order to make it look like the buildup was not as significant as it was. Now, when they engage in military operations, they put on military outfits. I never said anything contrary to that fact. But by talking in that type of explicit detail about military operations, they felt that I was revealing operational info. Now, this was after it wasn't like before, it was after the incursion, after this information would have already been useless. But, and it was also after 2 weeks after another news outlet, much more influential than myself, had already reported it. So it wasn't even like I was doing groundbreaking journalism, but because I chose to focus on something else than what they wanted to be focused on, I'm simply the deputy press officer doesn't like me. So I just don't get it. It's not like you are banned from this region. It's more like we will just not call you back. And that has to be something journalists are willing to do in order to tell the story. If I didn't talk about it in those details, then I would leave the operation in some sort of vague, like they did something and then they succeeded.
Somehow they managed to get there.
Yeah. So I think journalists need to be willing to burn bridges if necessary, not with the objective of burning bridges. You don't want to burn bridges, but you have to be willing to do what is necessary to get the story, or ultimately your objective isn't journalism, it's making friends.
Yep. I have been in the Kyiv circles long enough when I did live in Kyiv to know that is a lot of what goes on there. There's a lot of bar hopping. There's a lot of chit chat between people, and sometimes that's the goal for them. And if that's them, that's them. But no, you need to be willing to take that. Dylan and I both kind of live by the philosophy that journalism is a first draft of history. So if we get it wrong, if we fuck it up, that could have bigger implications much farther down the line. So, half of our audience is today, probably half to maybe even a third of our audience is in the next 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 years in the future. Who knows?
Sure. Yeah. Chat agrees with you, by the way.
Of course, we're correct.
Smart. So
also, I hate to be the bearer of bad news. This is good news for Devin, but I can do maybe 10 more minutes because I do have Track Ukraine work I got to get done, and this is technically supposed to be a short vacation before I go back to a different war zone. So I gotta I gotta use my time wisely.
That's the thing. I was because usually I'm hey, it's just an hour, and Dylan was oh yes, I'm ready, let's go. Devin is I'm ready, I'm pumped, and I'm I hope Dylan knows he's supposed to be ready for this as well.
I told her that you're always late, so it's okay,
Well, I just can't stand your presence for more than necessary.
That's understandable, it's mutual even, so.
No, but I do appreciate you being here. If you do need to leave, please, you are allowed to. I'm waiting
You're allowed to flee me, you East Coaster. So run away.
Wait, isn't your whole state made of people who the East Coast was too difficult for them, so they ran away to the West?
No,
like
actually,
all the
you
people
guys
who
kept trying
who
to
were
stop
smart
our
enough to think,
innovation, so we went
prospecting for
somewhere
gold's
better.
a good idea. Like,
Hey, we got
aren't
more
they
than you did,
the
motherfucker.
old world equivalent of those elderly boomers who go into the casino and just like go over and over in the slot machine? They just decided to do it. At least you could say about the elderly boomers today, they're looking at flashing colors. Your boomers were just like looking at rocks all day and still doing it.
And they got fucking rich from it. Yeah. the difference is our boomers, they kept
got rich
winning.
from it.
They kept
Did they
winning.
get rich from it?
So
I don't think
all
most gold prospectors are known for their immense wealth.
You know what? Not the East Coast ones.
Yeah, because there's no gold prospecting on the East Coast. If you're an East Coast gold prospector, you are a real window licker.
Mitch says West has better pot.
That hits you hard.
Sorry, I didn't hear that. What was that?
West has better pot.
Sorry, I didn't hear that.
Oh, okay, got it.
Mm-hmm. They said everything's better in the West, you know? Are you still getting interference or, you know, the hair moving the wrong way?
Is he talking? That's much better. You should speak. I don't know what tongue that was, but you should speak that language more often.
Should I? Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
You know, I got surprised by Devin today because he said, Dylan, you want to take this question first? I've never heard him say those words before.
Yeah, I'm a gracious Californian, man, you know?
The first one.
The best one. The better American, actually. So,
you know what? I can imagine that you're the best West Coaster. I can believe that.
Yeah. Is that a high bar or a low bar? From you, that'd be a pretty low bar. Okay, yeah. If it makes you feel any better, you're the most tolerable East Coaster. So,
I thought you were going to say tolerant, which would also be true.
That is true. Yeah. So you don't have any discrimination against the minorities. So
I can't make that. I can't even joke about that. I can't. I have like, I got too many in the chamber.
Overstuff that magazine, man.
Oh my goodness.
I like how it bounces back and forth between here's deep conversation about what journalism is, and then it's just me and Dylan in the corner, like fucking backyard boxing each other. Like
an old Kimbo Slice video.
Yeah.
We do have a comment from chat. Unpopular opinion, Texas has better Mexican food than California.
Kill that person.
I mean, it's called Tex-Mex, right?
Yeah, the shitty version of Mexican food, yeah. So besides, they're technically they have a coast on the east, so Texas better watch out. Get lumped in with this guy, you know?
I don't have any positive words really to say about Texas. I wish I did, but like I was there once, and the entire time I was there, I was just thinking about how I could leave. It is like the most I'm sorry, if you don't have a car there, you might as well kill yourself.
Oh, yeah,
it is horrid.
Horrid.
So like you want to take a walk, you idiot, you fool.
Yeah. Walk around your own house.
Okay, so sorry. Here's the thing. It's Jenny. She's Swedish, so a Swede said that. So.
Oh, so now the Texans are paying foreign bots to spread their propaganda. Swedish bots, okay. And by the way, Swedes, they've been mixing enough with the Laplanders. They're basically Finns. I'm just gonna throw that out there too.
You know what? Annex them right now. So Greater Finland. So we could fund a separatist movement, Dylan.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
We are very serious people.
Absolutely. Oh my goodness. Yeah, so guys, I do want to say we still have a fundraiser going.
People
it's
should go
still
donate to
going
that.
since the start of stream. So if you could still donate, that would still be cool. Really. So we're getting a vehicle for our guys in the 77th. So when we launched this summer fundraiser, we were like, okay, cool. 2 vehicles for the 3 main battalions we support. And I messaged the guy from the 77th. I'm like, hey, so we have this fundraiser. Can we get you a vehicle? And he's like, oh my word, you're right on time as always. We just opened a new position. And I'm like, cool. I feel like if I didn't message him the next day, he would have messaged us. So he's like, you're right on time. I'm like, yeah, that's us, punctual as fuck.
You guys were on his checklist, and he's like, "Oh, skipped a few. There we go."
Exactly. It's literally what I feel like happened. But yeah, so we're already quarter of the way there with this fundraiser, for this specific thing. So we're 25% done. So that's how maths work. So
that is, yeah, that's a really good amount. People should make it higher, though. I feel
should,
you know. I don't know how Dylan feels about that. He, is a strange.
Well, I know
being.
it should be higher, but that's because I went from a Maryland-based education system. So
yeah. We have more cars.
That's not a good thing. That's why is that a positive?
We just know more about them. We have more.
We have good education. You went beep beep.
Beep beep, motherfucker. I don't know what to tell you. Okay.
Well, I mean, beep beep might be traumatizing and triggering for Dylan nowadays.
That's true. Yeah.
Actually, yeah. All I do is I see his ripped shirt everywhere I look.
You walk around the corner, you just see a very large man. You go, oh, yeah.
I've never been one to turn away from large men
as well.
Nothing.
Okay. It's like every commander we run into that does anything logistics. It's always like we were standing in Kramatorsk somewhere, wanting to ask the commander if we can film them putting up these anti-FPV drone nets, thin wires, try to keep the drones off the streets. And they're like, wait for the commander to get here. Talk with him. See if he can. Oh, okay, no problem. We waited. We watched a thin guy walk past, and Bogdan, our fixer, was like, oh, maybe that's the commander. That was not the commander. We watched a slightly, and then we watched a slightly heavier man walk down the road, and we went, oh, probably not. Wasn't the commander. And then the girth himself walks down the road, short shorts, tight shirt, out to here, walking down the road. We went, that's him. Fuck, it was him. Nice guy. Let us film, but yeah, we can. I think they grant command in logistics by who eats the previous commander. So. I love logistics. I'm sorry, guys. I had to.
Oh my goodness. Oh my word. Lynn, anything to add to that?
Yeah, man, he looked like King Kong Bundy. He was a giant.
He was massive.
He was just so, and immediately when I see him, I was like, "That is the commander." We didn't even wait. We just walked up, hand extended. We didn't wait for him to announce he was the commander. We just assumed, and we were 100% right. And it's always the biggest guy around. And they have him in logistics because it would just be too big of a fucking target if he was anywhere near the, they would be like, he's got his own moons and shit. You gotta keep him in the back working in logistics, but he can't be driving stuff around because then it would take double the amount of gasoline. So he has to work in a command position.
Look, if he was on the front, they just don't make plates that big for a plate carrier. All right, they just don't fit at that point. Actually, that might be a really good anti-drone deterrent, gravitational field.
Gravitational field. I thought you were gonna say just bounces off.
Dong.
You ever see the what's his name, King Hippo from Punch Out? That's his deputy commander. That's his deputy commander.
Yeah, that's the guy who needs to bulk up some more. Okay.
Oh my goodness.
Is this where you thought the stream would head tonight?
No.
Not a plate carrier, plate tent. Okay, we're done.
It's actually just one big piece of sheet metal, you know. So
nice guy, by the way. Really,
great guy.
Perfectly
Great guy.
polite.
Yeah, great guy. Gave him a patch, you know. So let us film, no problems. So
hopefully he doesn't watch the stream.
Yeah, we wouldn't be able to get away. We'd
yeah.
add to its girth.
We'd be trying to run away, and it would be like the cartoon, like our feet would be hitting the ground, but we'd be getting dragged back more and more and more and more.
I was thinking more like his arms and legs are tracked, and he just starts rolling in our
Oh my
direction.
goodness, you
And it's
guys
like
are
that scene in
terrible.
Indiana Jones. He's trying to run away from the fucking big ass bowler.
Oh my
Instead of
goodness.
a golden statue, it's just like the plate of food that we're running away with. Okay.
You're
Dylan,
both
what's your
terrible.
turn?
If he was Goliath in a David and Goliath story, him and David would have died because he would have also just fallen on David.
Just like, yeah.
Oh my goodness. I'm
It's
glad
like
you
if
got
King
to
Kong
film.
survived New York.
I'm glad you were able to film that though. Not him, the nets. I mean,
It was very hard not to film him. We tried not to, but he just kept going into frame.
wow.
Can you believe I'm not welcome to some brigades?
Can you believe that Dylan gets
No,
blacklisted
it's like
sometimes?
shocker. Oh my goodness. Oh my word. So I have a random question, right?
Mm-hmm.
How much do your families know about the work you do and where you go? Like your parents, like how clued up are they?
My mom texted me earlier. I mean, she's watching, or she was watching like an hour ago. She knows everything. Like anytime, like when I got hit with the FPV, she knew that day. You know, when I'm going out to run around in some of these places, I usually give her a general plan and full update after that. What she tells my grandparents, probably 50%, 60 to 50% of that. But yeah, no. My mom is the type of person who works better with more information, and she knows what I do. She couldn't stop me if she tried. She knows that. So she just kind of embraces it. I mean, she doesn't like some of the stuff that I do, but she supports me in what I do fully. So, which is very rare. You know, a lot of soldiers don't have that relationship with their families, wives, even friends in a lot of cases. But mom says she tells the grandparents about 20% of what happens. So live updates. Hi, Mom.
Oh my goodness. And Dylan, your side?
Well, I think they know I'm in Ukraine.
Mm-hmm.
I think they had that much. They know. It's there's no reason for me to just cause them like a lot of concern and worry. So a lot of it is kind of asking forgiveness instead of permission. It's just I think it's just easier that way. But there's also like a part of it where, you know, part of the family just doesn't want to know also. Where like for me, if I talk about the war, I talk about the war. I'm not just gonna like Slava Ukrainia or whatever. It's like I remember like once like somebody got out of me like a story about what I saw in Kherson, right? about like, you know, we were going somewhere and just like 30 seconds before we arrived, this old woman was hit by a drone, just laying dead, like having to be scraped off the pavement with a shovel, like just like terrible stuff. And I remember the reaction I literally got was, I don't want to hear about that. It was just like, okay, you know, like that's for some people, the war should just be like toy soldiers. And like that should be the depth and complexity that they get of the war. And so I don't talk to my family about the war. I don't, because it's just either I'm going to cause them a lot of worry, or I'm going to be met with like disgust at my experiences. So I keep my experiences to myself. I don't. When I get back home, I talk about the war rarely and with few people. And it's also there's no like camaraderie or solidarity and experience or even like faintest understanding in the eyes of the people I talk to when I do talk to them about it. And so why am I gonna like sit down and try to explain something to somebody who will never understand what I'm talking about truly? I mean, like the closest I can get is when I talk to like some American veterans, but even they are like, it's a totally different war. Like they talk to me about like being scared of IEDs. And I mean, like, yeah, I got butterfly minds too, but my IEDs got wings and they have eyes, you know, it's a little different.
They hunt you. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like, so I think, I just don't.
Mm-hmm. I think that's fair. To also be fair on my mom's side, not only is she good with information, she has actually come here to visit me. So she knew that I wouldn't leave here. So she came all the way to Kharkiv to come and stay with me. So there's a different understanding from somebody who will come here or has been here. When I went back and forth between the U.S. and Ukraine, there was very few people that I could like really talk to about things, or that would get any of it. And oftentimes then the dark humor that had developed will shock and amaze those people who are not quite ready yet.
Yeah. Oh, it's funny because I know some of the guys we help, some of the soldiers, like family thinks they're doing admin in Kiev, and I'm like,
Jesus, yeah.
I'm like, dude's in Pokrovsk, but his family thinks he's doing admin in Kiev. Or we'll just like get a thank you video. It's like, hey, please can you blur the faces? The family thinks they're in Lviv.
Oh, Jesus, that's the worst. Yeah.
And but other people are like, no, it's okay. Their family won't watch the stream. It's fine.
Yeah.
Like,
they'll never find out.
It's fine. It's like, no, they don't speak English. It's fine. I'm like, okay.
It's a superpower.
So it's really like, it's interesting for me to see with soldiers where I'll be like, does your family know? Do they not know?
Yeah.
And then they'll be like, they know the general direction. They don't know. Like, they know I'm in the east. And other people are like, no, they think I'm doing paperwork in Kyiv.
Yeah. There's one time with Hajak where I was going out with a spy drone unit, and the commander of the like spy drone units of Hajak, his wife is also in the brigade, and it was like both of their days off, so they're like, yeah, we'll go with you. And they just came as a couple, and I have like couple photos of them in their military uniforms, like couple photos holding each other and kissing. Like, yeah. So it's like complete opposites, you know?
Yeah. So I think
you gotta go soon, Dylan, or are you good?
I think I should probably be heading out. Is there any questions you wanted to ask specifically about the embeds that we did on this last trip before I go?
Yeah, I did actually. About the like, what is your prepping beforehand when you do this, and just dealing with it? Like, you're there, you're just like, cool, there's random artillery being like hitting you, and you're just in a trench. Like, what goes through your head? Which sounds like a really dumb question to ask.
Hopefully not the artillery.
That was a good one. I appreciate that one.
Solid.
That gives the Dylan stamp of approval.
Yeah.
That was great.
That was. It reminds me of my Daria Dugina joke. What was the last thing that went through her head before she died? Her steering wheel.
Yep.
But I mean, what do I think about? I mean, how do I prepare? I mean, I think earlier on, I remember the first time when I crossed into Ukraine, I was watching The Sopranos for the first time. What a weird environment to watch The Sopranos for the first time.
Yeah.
And I was just trying to like absorb it. I remember like crossing the border. I'd like just filmed so much, like just out the window, just like absorbing every moment, like going to the front for the first time. Like I was, nervous, but I like every moment I'd like reassured myself that I know I want to do this. I know this is what I'm doing. And like, but with each embed, it just got easier and easier for me to kind of like put these like general, like the general fact of danger kind of away and only really deal with it when it like slams towards you. Like you hear the buzzing of the drone get too close as the rifle fire picks up from everybody, as everyone's doing everything they can to knock the thing out of the sky. And I think at this point, for me, preparation is getting in the car and passing out, like it just so we could drive to the front because I'm not getting enough sleep and it's easier to sleep the way to the front line. And Devin knows how much I will snooze in that car and I will snooze in that car again. So I mean, preparation, like there's not like traditions I do for safety or anything. Like I just think that's all kind of bullshit. War's numbers. Like your percentage chance of living and dying depends upon the risks you're willing to take, the risks you're not willing to take, and a bunch of things that are outside of my control. So I've taken the things that are outside of my control and I've thrown them away, and I've solidly just focused on what is inside my control. Like this last trip when I was in Druzhkivka, I went into Druzhkivka on like electric bikes, just like going around and like I remember like in 2020, like 2 or 3, like those silly Russians on their bikes and stuff. Yeah, it's like oh, the biggest, one of the strongest armies of the world. Fuck. Here I
he's on the little, it's not even a gas bike, so
it's not even a gas bike, it's not a motorcycle, it's like an electric battle bike is I guess what you could call it.
It was described to him as like a standing scooter at first.
Yeah, at first I thought I was gonna go in there on like one of those little like
the Bolt scooters.
Yeah, one of those like electric 20 kilometers per hour maximum, like little scooters, beep beep. It's gonna have a little ringing bell on it. But I mean, when I was over there in Druzhkivka, I mean, there's like times where the drones come in and you can hear it and you have a certain amount of time. So you've already chosen your cover in advance. And so I know what to do and I choose my cover in advance. That's something I can do to increase my odds. I look down every road that I go down and I don't assume that it's safe, and that allowed us to spot some waiter drones that was waiting for us. And so we were able to go around a different road so we didn't get blown up by this drone that would have literally had to do nothing but press a button if they had a detonate feature installed onto. But it depends on which drone, whether you need to actually make impact or hit a button. But some of them you literally just need to hit a button. So you walk by, it's basically a mine with a camera. And so it's a lot of these types of decisions that give me a certain amount of control that allows me to deal with it much more psychologically. In moving vehicles is the worst because you have the least amount of control. You can't really run anywhere, and you're the biggest target imaginable to any type. Like the Russians know you're there. Like if you're in a moving vehicle, they know you're there. They can see you. It's really just a question of whether they can get to you in time in order to kill you. Whereas on foot, they might know you're there, they might not know you're there, and if they do know you're there, you might be able to scatter in like different ways where instead of one big target, you're now 6 or 7 targets. So maybe they'll try to go for one and then switch to another, but it gives you a lot more not only determination over your own fate, but it also allows you to just run the odds in my head. It's like, it's 1 in 7 instead of just 1 in 1. So I think for me, a lot of the preparation is actually math. It's like doing the percentage of like what's the likelihood that this goes wrong and what odds am I willing to put up with. As for like being on position, like, and what do I think of when we're getting bombed? Fuck.
Shit, that just happened. Yeah. Because it's like preparation. What do I do? First thing.
I'm assuming comfy shoes as well.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. You want to have good footwear for, especially when you're doing these long hikes in and out of positions. You want comfy fucking shoes. When I'm thinking about preparation, it's like, oh, camera. Make sure I'm charged, make sure I've got the batteries on me, make sure I'm not forgetting anything like a camera bag or something anywhere, or camera bag on position, somewhere where it takes days or it needs to be shipped back, that because it has a really important SD card in it. Anyways, that didn't happen with Dylan. I don't know why you would think that. No, it's all about, for me, that's just like, but that's standard, right? That's operational. You're a journalist. You should have your fucking camera charged. Now I don't even think about it. Okay, hey, we're gonna go do this. Cool. There's everyone has little rituals that they do. They don't make a difference really. I tend to wear my father's old ring whenever I go to the front. It gives me, I don't know, a bit of psychological, like, well, there's something there. I can ground myself on that if I ever need it. But I don't really need it that much, I could be just fine one way or the other without it, because it's just kind of work now. What's it like in working in a dive bar that sometimes gets a little too rowdy? Well, if you work there long enough, that's just Tuesday for you. If you have to break up bar fights, if you need to deal with a food condition, you need to deal with a bad employee. Ours just have like you don't get double chances. You fuck up, you die. So that there's a little bit more pressure there, but it's not I don't know. You go, when this last trip when we were working on the Bropilia front, we entered in on a fully armored vehicle, and well, the only time I've been hit with an FPV is in a fully armored vehicle. I also don't have any control at that moment, like Dylan said, so I don't worry about it at that point. I don't have any control then, and there's something kind of liberating of being like, okay, hey, we get hit, we get out. Hopefully everyone's okay. When we're running around on position, it's your job to kind of not only film but look out for everyone around you. Dylan, he's okay. Okay, Bogdan's okay. Hey, Bogdan, don't pick up that random piece of metal. Hey, guys, watch out, when you're walking through tall grass, like double check paths. It's everyone kind of looking out for each other. And when you work with a team long enough, like, you kind of understand where each other's at.
Bogdan's okay. Devin's okay. Fuck.
God damn it. Yeah, I know. Does Dylan need a tourniquet? Oh, he does?
I got like a big sign with an arrow for the drone.
You plant some like Apple AirTag on me, you're like, the Russians will see this signal. So.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, so it was really nice talking to you and
Thank
the
you
drone
for being
magnet,
here.
Devin. And I'd like to just tell everybody at home that you can always do more. I know that it's always hard to dig a little deeper, but I know that the soldiers definitely appreciate people's support. They definitely appreciate anything you can give. And if you're at home, you have a certain comfort that Ukrainians don't, and certain resources that they don't, that they just don't have. Like, Ukrainians are bled dry when it comes to what they can give. And so I believe that as our nation's governments have pulled back their resources to deal with domestic concerns, or because they think that this war doesn't have anything to do with them. And unless the Russians start picking up advances, then they get very concerned and they remember that it has a lot to do with them. But I don't believe that this war should really end on the Ukrainians just having to pile enough bodies to fill a wall to stop the Russian advance. We should be treating these boys as if they were our own when it comes to contributions. And I hope that you all find some way to help, whether it's through a fundraiser like this, or it's through donating to organizations like UA Animals, and like helping repair the ecological damage that Ukraine's going through, or after the war, helping to donate to CESU emergency services that are going to have to do so much civilian demining. It makes your head spin. I will be dead before they get all the mines out of the ground of Ukraine. Everybody on the show will be dead. So hopefully, exactly, Devin. So if you can give anything, I know that they appreciate it, and thank you so much for having me on. And I hope you guys continue to follow the war with the same vigor that it deserves.
Absolutely.
Thank you for being here. Enjoy the rest of your holiday.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. I appreciate
Thanks.
it. Bye-bye.
Stay safe where you're going, buddy. Love you.
Love you too.
Awesome.
God, I had to talk to that rat. Fuck. Oh, we're still on.
Ah, shit. He's still here. Fuck. Yeah, there you go.
Oh my
Hate that
goodness.
guy.
No, it's
It's a crazy world. It really is.
it
you know?
is.
Going out and
And
doing this stuff, running around these areas. You know, I'm often reminded that it's not kind of, Tuesday afternoon for everyone doing stuff like that. And then I go, I'm really adapted to that. I don't know if that's a good thing, but it's yeah, you kind of live by it. We all know, or at least the people that go out there with good intentions, we know what we're doing, and we know it's important. So that kind of dissuades any fear at that point.
yeah, I think like when I was in Ukraine, I was like gonna be in Odessa, and then we were gonna go. We went up to Kharkiv, and this was at the end of the Kursk invasion. So we also went to Sumy, and I'm like wondering, like, am I gonna tell my mom? Am I not gonna tell my mom? Right? And eventually, like, I asked Halina's mom, I'm like, would you want to know? And she's like, well, kind of, yeah. I'm like, okay, how do I tell her? And Halina's like, Kiev, Odessa, and Kharkiv all get bombed the same amount of time. You've survived Kiev, you've survived Odessa, you'll be fine in Kharkiv.
Exactly,
I told my
Your
mom that,
statistical
and she's
chance
like,
is pretty similar, so.
told my mom that, she's like, that doesn't really make me feel better. I was like, I'll let you know when I'm back, but I also didn't want to
Yeah.
go there, and then something happened. So she's like, kid was supposed to be in Odessa, and now she's in Sumy. Right?
Surprise during the offensive, so. Yeah.
So it's absolutely crazy. Yeah, I think like also part of the prep work, like as a journalist, like, or like, were there certain safety protocols you had to learn first before going, like?
Technically, there is none for journalists. Technically, you can get your press card, never work a day in a battlefield, and if you get the right person, the right contact, they can send you 10 kilometers from the Russians. There is nothing in Ukraine for safety card, for press credentials that requires any sort of training, any sort of knowledge, any sort of anything like that. It is kind of a Wild West sort of field. Me personally, I take it a bit more seriously. I have good armor. I have soft armor where it is not required. I have hard plates that are required, even though they're kind of a pain. I work with a group here in Kharkiv who does tactical medical training. I give them photo assets, and like every 2 months, I get a refresher course, which is way more than the majority of journalists out here get. That's everything from how to stuff shrapnel wounds to tourniquet usage to bleeding, weather conditions, everything, respiratory, like all of that. There's a certain physical element to it that you have to keep up with, making sure you can haul yourself and the extra weight of your armor around, making sure that you can pull people out if needs be. And making sure you can walk long distances, because that's often very required, and you don't want to be the one that's like, "Hey, can we just stop in the middle of this field? I'm tired." Like, yeah, suck it up. Like,
Yeah.
I get tired too. Too bad. Yeah. New thing for this year, which probably should have been last year too, is that we carry a drone detector around with us now. One with a screen, one that we can see, hey, is there a threat coming towards us? Hey, there isn't. We tend not to take it into the field, though. We tend to use it in cities and when driving more, because we are a bigger target then. And something would be more likely to catch us off guard if we're in a car than if we're on foot. And if you get close enough to the front, there's too many radio signals, and you're like, "Oh,
Yeah.
great! There's drones." I could have told you. I could have been the drone detector then. There's been look, drone. There's been talks about getting like net guns, like net launching drone guns, because those aren't weapons. As journalists, we could still carry them around, and the Russians don't give a fuck if they would hit journalists or not. Matter of fact. Most times when I go out, for better or worse, I usually don't have a press sticker somewhere on me because it's like a come kill me button, essentially. So, and the people that I know now usually have very small ones, if any. None of it's mental at this point. There's no like mental preparation that needs to happen.
The weird thing was like my question about like the beforehand prep. When I wrote it down, I didn't at all think about any mental prep. I was like, what is your like, because I'm like, how do you, like, you already know what you're going to go do.
Yeah.
Right? So for me, it was like this part about like, you know what, you get your camera ready, like the practical stuff.
Yeah.
So when you and Dylan were like talking about the mental stuff, I'm like, oh yeah, shit, people prepare for this mentally as well.
There are, and there's some people that need to go, "Whew, all right, I'm gonna go in there. I'm gonna run around," and there are, and I've seen those people. No hate against them at all. They get the job done. But now it's a normal Friday. You make sure your camera's charged. You make sure you have all your stuff. Everything works. Your light works. Your hearing protection works if you have it. If you're not Dylan and just cupping your ears. Dirty East Coaster. I don't know. You have yourself in like a well enough shape to be able to run around in these conditions. Yeah, good shoes. Definitely good shoes. I go through a lot of insoles.
Yeah, no, I remember when I was going to Ukraine, a friend of mine here in South Africa, he used to be in the military here. And he just like, I'm like, yeah, I'm going. He's like, before you go, I need to fly up to where you stay and I'm going to take you to a shooting range. I'm like, I promise you, I'm not allowed to get a gun. And he's like, no, but you have. I'm like, no, there's no time. And he's like, okay, at least start walking. You need to be able to walk this far. And I did not get my walking in.
Yeah.
Did not get my walking in. Also, I do have some hypermobility issues and insole issues. So I did have some shin splits for a bit. Like, Odessa, I was like, ow, I should have really gone walking.
That's when there is actually some mental prep work where you need to know, I'm the type of person that can just kind of eat shit for like 2 hours straight if I need to. Like, if this is gonna suck, I need to know that I can handle that.
Exactly. And I'm like now, and I'm like, because I plan on going again like before the end of this year. And I'm like, do I want ice cream or do I want to go to Ukraine?
All right, every time I want ice cream, I have to walk 2 miles. And like, by the end of it, you can walk from Lviv all the way to the front, It's
crazy.
Worse with armor too. It really is. Like that's.
I can imagine because that's quite
so
heavy.
Much weight. Yeah, because you're carrying front plate, back plate. You're usually loaded up with gear. So for me and Dylan, it's like cameras, sometimes a gimbal.
And cameras are
helmets on.
Surprisingly heavy.
Oh yeah,
especially when
my
you have
camera is stupidly heavy. Like I'm carrying this thing around with me.
Yeah,
and
that
like,
lens is heavy.
It's like metal too, so it's a lot of weight on top of an already like stuffed kit.
Yeah, so that I can see that's heavy.
And neck strength, actually.
That's what I was gonna say. Yeah, like
yeah.
Especially
I will go with a GoPro on the top, so I'm like moving my head around, thinking like, oh, this is gonna be a good shot. Oh, I need this, like. So my neck is just moving constantly with this giant helmet on.
Have you considered going to like a biokineticist to get like specific neck strengthening exercises?
That could be interesting.
I wonder if there's a niche there for that.
That might be a good frontline business, actually.
There's
Like all the soldiers are in there just like,
yeah,
you
like
know?
you just get some exercises done and so.
Your helmet will feel much better, guys. Well, to be fair, when they're working, they don't really wear the armor a lot of the time.
True,
So, you
that
know.
is also
Yeah.
true.
So
Also,
Mhm.
Mitch wants to know if you couldn't find a heavier camera.
You know, I could have. I wimped out for this one, but I could have. So
And Kai
uh,
says the Hubble space station was already in space.
you know, I can only take so many things in a military car. There are space limits, unfortunately. Space limit. There you go.
Ha ha.
Hey. No, it's good. It's good. You know, some people, a friend of mine, Jose, we jokingly call him the local of Kramatorsk. He's from Spain. Um, Rail thin guy, big bushy beard, big twisty mustache, completely bald. He took an old 4 centimeter by 5 centimeter film camera, box film camera with leather bellows into Konstantinivka, like this time last year, to take long exposure photos in there. All right. I am far from the craziest.
I respect the craft. I will say
Oh, they're beautiful photos. But also, he took a photo of a family in front of their destroyed house, and he was like, "Wait, wait, hold on, wait, don't move." As in, like, crazy guy, crazy guy.
Oh my word.
There is a subset of like it would make a really good TV show one day, probably a Ukrainian TV show of like I don't even know what you'd call it. Strange foreign journalists operating in Ukraine, like have a Seinfeld style sitcom show about them all. It would work so well.
Mitch wants to know if you have a pic of the guy taking the photo.
If I have a pic of the guy taking
Like
the
a
photo,
picture. Do you have a photo of the guy taking the photo with that long exposure?
of Jose, I think it was on his Instagram at some point. I'd have to look for that.
Okay.
That was a while ago. I probably have it somewhere. I can send it over afterwards, but it's a he's wild dude. He's a great guy, but wild.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's always the interesting thing for me is like, I had a friend who was like, he has this journalist friend here in South Africa and she wants to come to Ukraine. And he's like, but actually he just thinks she wants to see some war, like experience some war. I'm like, maybe not.
Yeah.
And he's like, can you fix her up? I'm like, I'm not putting her in touch with anyone.
Yeah.
Because putting someone in touch, like, and I think that's something that, you know, when you go out to position, it is an extra risk that the soldiers are taking as well.
Yes.
Right. So they need to be like extra cautious as well. So I'm like, I'm not putting a random person in touch with this. Like, no, that's not on me. And I'm also not going to like introduce this person to my contacts because I don't want them to be put at risk, right?
Yeah. Your reputation out here is really key in a lot of like in the circles where it counts, right? A lot of places clout and followers will get you attention, but where things matter most here, the reputation that you hold matters. Just it's gold. It really is. Second point, it is an incredible risk for people to have journalists there. You don't know what they're going to do. They're often I go out now in a pure like coyote colored blending in sort of gear, but a lot of people go in black, and that gets spotted by drones all the time. I've worked with ISR drones, these intelligence, reconnaissance, surveillance drones. They see everything, and you don't see them. So you don't know who is looking at you in any given moment. And so to walk extra people to a position who are in different armor, who look different, who are being guided by someone, oh, maybe there's something interesting there. Mark that spot down. We'll hit it later. Oh, maybe there's a commander there. Maybe we'll hit it now. There's so much extra risk that goes into having people just anywhere. And even security risk. If you don't know the journalist, they could burn your position. That's happened multiple times, whether intentionally or not intentionally. They could potentially post photos that's damaging information. Security risk again. You just don't know. So it's one of the reasons why we try to, like, with the groups that we go out with, we do genuinely try to be very good with them, treat them with the respect and the understanding that while we're working together in this sense of being able to tell people what's going on here, to show the history, to document, we understand they're taking the greater risk, really, because they have to live there
Yeah.
after we're gone. So if we fuck up in some way,
They're
bad
dealing with the
things.
consequences.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's also why I
Right.
pick who I work with very tightly. Because if I give my reputation out to someone, even if that's like, hey, this is a good person, you know, some throwaway comment somewhere online or in a public eye, that could lead to something worse down the road. If I say, okay, I will go and work with you in the field, I need to know that that person's good. I need to know I can trust that person in a dangerous situation and that they won't just put others in danger. It's, you know, even when you're going out there, it's a game of like, I won't just take anyone out there, essentially. I have to know the person and be very comfortable with them.
Absolutely. And it makes sense. Yeah. I'm out of questions, so if you have any cool stories.
Sure. This last time when we were out with Cut a Dog on the Dobropilia access, I also don't think I told stream. I saw one of this community's patches on one of the Cut a Dog guys. I wanted to talk with the guy and be like, hey, I know this. But that was right when there was like 12 of us that all by happenstance converged on one location. And as soon as I was going to go talk with him, we started hearing drones buzzing above us. And we're a very juicy steak, all 12 of us. So everyone just scattered and then immediately got to the safe corridor. Like, but I made a mental note of that. I was like, I need to mention this eventually. So back after we had gone to this artillery position, we hiked back into the town that we were in. And we were staying at a position with an anti-aircraft crew and a grad crew. They didn't have their truck there. It was a chill day for them. And essentially, we were staying at a crossroads to where our PPO guys could go, and PPO is air defense, and they were shooting down FPV drones that were flying over this town. And man, these guys are giving it all. The 3 people from the FPV position or anti-FPV position, they're trying to shoot it down. The other team members of the grad had come out and all taken cover and are trying to shoot this down. The driver of the grad truck, dude's probably 60 years old. Again, I don't know what it is about this country. Short black shorts, black shirt, like smaller than the commander we joked about earlier. Comes out, rifle in one hand, lit cigarette in the other, takes a hit, puts the cigarette behind his ear, throws the AK off, and he goes, bad snipers. Let Grandpa handle this. And he just went, boom, 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 shot the drone down.
Oh my goodness.
And he stood there for a moment, looking for another one, and he went, come get me when there's more, and just went back down.
Oh my goodness.
You meet the craziest people when you go out and do this. You really do.
Absolutely.
You know, there's people that I've met doing civilian evacuation work in Drushkivka, a police officer from Kramatorsk, and I worked with these guys like 3 days. We were going in and out of Drushkivka, trying to get people out, trying to convince people to leave. And the police officer was going with these firefighters to be like their security, right? I don't know. 47-year-old Donetsk guy, big, thick silver chain all around his neck. Very professional the first day, very business oriented. You know, this is what we do. This is this. Second day, Dylan and Bogdan are out somewhere, and I'm just hanging out with these guys, me and them. And the dude completely opens up. He's like talking to me about how he loves West Coast rap music. And every time he saw me, like the next day after that, he's like, yo, what's up, man? He doesn't speak another word of English. He just knows that. He's taking me back to my apartment. I'm sitting in the passenger seat next to him. We're in an all black Lada. All black. Outside, interior, everything. The leather is all black. And he's making the Lada bounce like it has a hydraulic system. And as we're like headbanging with the rap music, like DMX playing, the firefighter who's with us leans over and he goes, Kirill, he's like Kramatorsk's Denzel Washington. He just leaves it at that.
I love it's like the most random parts of American pop culture that gets exported.
It is. When do you think about it? Oh, yeah, 47, 48-year-old Donetsk police officer. Ah, yes, he loves West Coast gangster rap music. That's his jam. He loves that shit, you know? It's also the best thing about being out there is you meet so many of these people and you just like, if I wrote you in a book, nobody would believe me. They would think that I'm like making a caricature of somebody,
Yeah.
but you're real. Like, and it's awesome and wonderful.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. It was, yeah.
There's a lot of really good people here, and there's a lot of very unique people here. The worst part is that they have to be all caught up in this shit while it's all going on, and we lose just way too many of them. But that's the reality. And while we're doing a lot of really good things with long-range strike drones, you know, everything is kind of getting closer to Kramatorsk and Slovyansk right now. We've been out near Limon area, kind of to the eastern flank of the Twin Cities there, up near like Mykolaiivka and that area. We've been down near Dobropilya. We've been reporting on Konstantinivka and Druzhkivka since last year. That area is getting very, very bad right now. Gas stations are just gone. Like there's maybe, I don't know, 2 that are completely untouched, but everywhere else has shrapnel markings through it. The gas stations themselves are actually reinforced. Like, not only do they have drone nets over it, they have a second drone net just over the gas pumps. And those gas pumps are like boarded up with wood and sandbags. They have concrete blocks in front of the like terminal, the office where you go in and pay. Yeah, there's barbed wire everywhere in Kramatorsk now and Slovyansk. Yeah, it's that area, if the battle gets there, is going to be like a big stand moment. Like, but they are, if it gets there, which still could not, there's still a lot in between, but they are preparing for it.
Yeah.
And support right now, especially even while things are tough, especially while, you know, the world economy isn't all that great everywhere. Even going on 5 years, it's more important now than ever because the war is changing in real time. Everything is advancing so quickly. Technology, I mean. And yeah, to kind of advance into a new age of warfare is, as a journalist, it's a weird honor to be able to cover it, but it's also very horrific to see. And just how people are not adapted and how quickly people do adapt.
Yeah. I mean, it's weird for me, right? Because when we were like back when our team was still doing Kazivac, like Kramatorsk was like kind of home base, right? So it's so weird for me, and it like that was the safe place. Oh, we do have a question. What do you think about the strike on the drone expo in Kyiv?
Oh boy.
I have an opinion. This is what happens when you use AI flyers.
Was it an AI flyer?
It was an AI flyer.
I'm very against AI, so I can co-sign that.
I studied graphic design. I'm like,
Yeah.
they're stealing. Like, I'm Like, I'm a graphic designer. Like,
It's also people are very not great about operational security in some senses, whether that is this drone expo and them telling people the location beforehand, having an online submission forum to where they can get the location beforehand, or if it was the ammo depot that was on one of the suburbs around Kyiv. In Drushkivka, there was also an ammo depot that was right next to a bunch of civilian houses. I remember being there when it was struck and like watching the smoke as we drove up to it. I think it's very careless design, and I think it's just people just not caring, you know. Oh, it'll be fine. Oh, this is, you know, what it is. Specifically for this strike, I think it was negligent in a way that people should probably, you know, face some repercussions for. I think, yeah, a hot take here. People that did bad things, you know, deserve to be prosecuted. But yeah, there's just no excuse at some point. You fuck up that badly, you get people killed, you gotta live with it.
absolutely. It's, I don't know. Oh, okay. I'll search for the flyer after this, but it's, I was like,
To get, I mean, in 2022,
yeah, that's
2023, like, okay.
in the, like, as you said, just like in the big 26.
Yeah, in the big 26, we're still making rookie mistakes. It's inconceivable at some point. You know, you know, oops, I drove up to the front line. And it's like, no, you don't do that now. You get fucked then. You die.
Yeah.
In situations like this, there is no excuse. And I think that something like that is one of those key examples of maybe things that are a bit more unsavory that need to be like publicly spoken and be like, hey, this person needs, like, the person who set this up, the person who fucked up, maybe even the team that looked over it and said, oh, this is fine. Okay, maybe they face some repercussions as well because people are dead and it could have been avoided. And people just didn't care enough.
Yeah. I mean,
And
it's,
that bothers me, but that's with everything. So
you're just bothered in general. That's your vibe.
I can be very bothered. Yeah. I really try not to be bothered, believe it or not. And then, you know, I go hang out in a barn with corpses and see like people executed. I go and see civilians who were not or chose not to evacuate, who are now putting people's lives at risk because for some reason they're, I'm going to stick it out. I'm going to be here. And then the war got a little bit closer. And then, oh shit, get me out of here. This is actually really bad. I'm glad they're out. They still put a lot of people in danger by sticking around that far. There's a million cases of it where I can see things like that. And then it's just somebody who makes a dumb, stupid mistake like this about something wasn't critical. Like, there's nothing inherently... it's just lazy at that point. You got people killed because you were lazy. Not even because you were trying to do something good and fucked up. Not even because, oh, you were trying to do something good and you just got the wrong roll of the dice. You know? You fucked up stupidly and you got people killed. And people can say whatever they want to about it online. People can try to grandstand from places that they've never been before. But yeah, it's... the little things get you when you deal with enough big things. When you see enough of them and then somebody comes along and is like, oh, well, if you're saying this, if you're talking about this situation, don't you know there's a war going on? And it's like, duh. That's why I'm talking about it.
Yeah. I mean, Mitch says like that you're still bothered about it is a good sign.
Yeah.
When you're not, you should leave.
Exactly. If you find yourself not bothered by things, and if you, which one do I want to say? If you don't feel fear, it's okay not to be. If you're not scared, no problem, no issue. If you just stop feeling fear at some point, fear is what keeps you alive.
Mm-hmm.
Fear is what helps your heart go. Fear is what makes your sensory, like, you're sharper, you're quicker, you're faster. Like, you're all of these things that genuinely mean the same thing. And, when you lose that, then you kind of just don't care anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay, live or die. Some of that's war, some of that's infantry work. I get that totally. But there's degrees of it. And I think if somebody who's not genuinely living in hell 24/7 just loses fear of everything, that's Shaheeds I don't really care that much about. I live next to an area where they fly the Shaheeds back and forth all the time. If one gets a little too close, I still go and like run to the safer area of the house, of the apartment. I usually run from the balcony, having seen the Shahed, but I still go in like, okay, hey, a little too close for my liking. But if somebody is just like, hits me, doesn't hit me, who cares? I don't know. At that point, you can be a danger to other people as well. So,
I mean, I will say, when I was in Odessa, and at one point I was just like, you know what, screw this. I am tired. If I die, I will die
Yeah.
in my bed, and I will be warm and comfy. And
oh yeah,
so,
I
so,
think
so
that
you get that point as well. But I mean, I think if that's your default mode, then you have a problem.
it's a very fine line to walk, right? Like between there was somebody coming to work in Kramatorsk, like a guy who's been there quite a bit, took safety very seriously, and we were swapping stories from this last time before he went down there. He was like, "Oh, you guys were hearing like FPVs, like Cobbs were striking like really close to where you guys were. Did you like go down to the shelter?" Both me and Bogdan, the field producer, were like, "Nah." Like we like put another blanket over us, and we're just like, "Yeah, I'm tired. I'm gonna go to bed." I'm like, fuck this shit. Yeah. So that I think is okay because you need to sleep eventually. You can't always like, oh, there's an air raid. I'm gonna go run down to the shelter. You never sleep. You die from no sleep at that point. But there's also a difference of like, I'm gonna go walk through this field that may or may not have mines because I don't give a fuck at that point. Like two different scenarios in my head.
Absolutely.
Maybe that's cope from my end, but
no, but I think
my type of no fear is fine, but that other one,
no, but I think it's also like, you've evaluated the risk and you are doing like your small precautionary stuff.
That other blanket will save me, I swear.
100%. Like shrapnel can kill you, man.
Exactly.
That blanket is.
I should get a soft armor blanket. Just really piss people off. Yeah, okay, I'm covered. Yeah.
Yeah. No.
There are a couple of things like that. I've seen people on those like FPV drone compilations try to throw like sleeping pads at drones before. It doesn't work well, but they try. And I give them points for that, at least trying.
Yeah. No, it's. So you deal obviously with, and you've seen some stuff, not just corpses in a barn, but I mean, I still think back to I feel like the debut of East West FM was your documentary on the firefighters, right? And you deal with all these people and you connect and you form bonds with them. Do you check in? You're like, hey, you're still okay?
There's a sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, so that's the one thing. And the other thing is, since you're connected to so many people on so many different levels of society, right? Like not just soldiers, not just first responders, everyone. You kind of, I'm assuming, like you realize that death is not exclusive to one occupation.
Yeah.
And how do you kind of deal with the fact that, like, when you lose someone, how are you kind of like, shit, this happened?
I've been very lucky that there's very few people that I've known to this line of work who have died. It's a rare luxury. It's a weird thing to call a luxury, but it is a luxury. No, there's a weird like connecting. Usually it's either through like a WhatsApp or a Signal, or Instagram tends to be the main one. And there'll be people that like I follow through there, and every now and again it's like I see they look at my story and they like my story, and I go, okay, they're alive. And then they post a story and I'll look at it, and it's like that kind of like low effort check in a way, to see like, oh, my boys are still kicking here. Oh, these guys are still fighting. Oh, they got a new drone. Look at that. They wanted that since the last time. Uh, it's these little things like that, because it does get to like a big point. You end up working with a huge amount of people doing this job. And some people you connect with and you want to stay in contact with, others you meet, and it's like a chance meeting kind of back and forth. And then, you might be looking through some old footage and you go, huh, I wonder if that guy's doing all right. And you might not be able to know. I mean, I could always check with a press officer, sure. But, how many times do you do that? Do you do that for the first 10 people you meet, the first 20, 50, 40, 100, 200? There's a limit where you're just lucky to have met that person in that moment. Like the guy who gave me this from Hajak, Bogdan of his Bogdana crew. Like him, I see post stuff all the time, and him I check in on. He'll send me little things like on in like Ukrainian Press Freedom Day, whatever it's called. He like sends me things. He's like, "Congratulations on your professional holiday." It's like, there's little things like that, kind of back and forth. Or there's a trainer from the UK who works with a brigade, and I'll see his thing and I'll check in with him now and again, because he goes on crazy missions. He went from training to crazy missions and then back to training. So it's like, oh, hey, you're alive. That's great news. Firefighters, same way. Oh, okay. Hey, they're still doing well. They're still doing backbreaking work, searching for bodies this time. Or sometimes I'll see, Kyiv DSNS pop up and I'll go, hey, I know that guy. Hey, good. He's there. Okay. He looks tired. Fuck, probably is tired. When one of those guys dies, though, for me, death isn't something that I fear necessarily. Bit about me. I was very young when my father died. And from that point onward, me and death have kind of walked together like ever since I've been a teenager. It's something I accept fully at this point, being way too close to 30 now. It's, me and death have been hand in hand for a very long time. It's not something I fear for myself. It's something very sad when it happens. But, every story needs an ending at some point. And not all of them are good. Rarely are any of them ever good. But you keep them in your mind. You keep their memory. That's how people truly live on. So that I was able to meet them, that I was able to have and carry a little bit of their memory, is also just as much of an honor as being able to say, hey, I met this guy.
Yeah. That's an interesting perspective.
This stream really is one end to the other, isn't it? It's talking about the commander of the drone nets. And
welcome
then it's
to
down
the
like
roller coaster.
Exactly. Yeah. And man, they just go. Yeah.
No, but I also feel like it's a reflection of life, and of dealing with the situation, about your work. And
there's never been a place where I have encountered death or deadly situations where there is not immediately a joke that follows. It's two sides of the same coin. Somebody made a comparison that comedy actors do really well in horror films, because comedy and horror are the same thing. One is a surprise with a happy outcome, and one is a surprise with an unhappy outcome. So they're at the essence, they're the exact same. And maybe there's some wire in there.
Maybe, yeah. I mean, I don't know. I was at an event a while ago, and both I have my friends obviously, but then I also have like my colleagues, and then I have people from civil society I work with. And when you're in those spaces, you kind of all have the same, jokes, certain topics that you will discuss, that you won't discuss. And then I went to a really weird photography exhibition, and I studied art, and I'm like, what am I even looking at? But no, but like nothing weird but just I'm like, I don't know. I just haven't, I guess, maybe kept up with the industry, because now all of a sudden Photoshop is included, and I'm like,
yeah,
and I'm like, I don't know. This feels more like multimedia than photography, right? I mean, like, I get your composition, but also, So
it's
I
different.
was there. I was with one of my friends, and I just tell him, I'm like, I don't think I understand photography as a medium anymore. I don't get it, right?
Yeah.
But I'm there with, so it was hosted by the Austrian embassy, and we're sitting there, we're talking, and I'm there with one of my friends from the Ukrainian embassy, and we're chatting there. And I don't know what comment I make, but I make some other comment about Russia and Russians, and I have this 18-year-old intern who took offense. And I eventually said, look, until you've lost people because of this, until you've had the drones and the bombs above your head, once you have that, then we can have this conversation. And he left and he walked away. And I was like, did I actually upset him? And one of the actual staff was like, yeah, but he's an intern. No one cares what he thinks.
Nice. Yeah.
But it was so weird for me, because I'm like, I'm not usually around, like when I am at like embassy events, it's Ukrainian embassy events, so my sense of humor works there. Does not work at a neutral Austrian event.
To be clear too, he was not Russian. He was like an Austrian guy or a South African guy, and he just got
Austrian.
offended on their behalf.
I kind of said the only good Russian is a dead Russian, and he kind of took offense to it. Oops.
Oops, yeah. Weird, yeah.
It was.
Who knows?
It was interesting, and someone was just
Austrians are weird people.
No, they're nice. Like the rest of the people were nice. But I don't think he has a positive outlook on South Africans. Like, these South Africans are so Russophobic.
There's going to be a whole diplomatic mission now because of you. So.
No, so it's always weird for me. Like, and I know there are some friends where I can discuss this.
Yeah.
And they don't have to be in they work in whatever normal South African job, right? And then other people I'll just be like, no, this is not gonna work.
Nope, this is not your topic to talk about. No,
Absolutely not. Like, I found out yesterday my dad follows Ukrainian politics.
Oh.
And I was like, that's cool to know, because whenever I want to talk about what's going on, he's like, I really don't want to talk about this. I prefer to think that that doesn't exist. And then I speak to him, and he's like, oh yeah, I've been watching the news. I'm following up on this. I'm like, dude, we can talk about this,
He's already read it all. He doesn't want to talk about it anymore. He's like, look, I spent 3 hours researching this. All right, my brain is done.
And I'm like, we could totally bond over this. Like, no, I don't want to talk about it. Like, okay, process the war on your own, okay?
Ow. Yeah. No, even when I was back in the US, there's so many things. I could spin things usually in a good way of talking to people, and you should support it. This is how I'm countering all the propaganda that right now. This is hitting these things. But if I wanted to sit down and really talk about the war stuff, that was beyond that I stepped foot into the country was enough. Most people were like,
yeah,
you're a hero. I was like, no one sitting in no spiritual Lvivite is like the hero for getting a Lviv croissant in Lviv. Okay, like no, no.
It's really weird for me when I like tell people what I do for a living or like meet them the first time, because I'm like, so there's this bar near my place, right?
Mhm.
And one of my friends were like, no, we're gonna go out, and I get there before the rest of the friend group, and this guy is like completely misses the brilliant fact that it's 9 o'clock on a Saturday and they're playing Piano Man.
Oh, come on. What are you
He's too
doing, dude?
drunk, but I mean, brilliant. Like this place, their music is just everything is okay.
Mhm.
And he's too drunk to realize this. But he's like, no, let's dance. And I'm like, no, I'm okay. He's like, no, let's dance.
Yeah.
And he's like, this drunk, twirly whirly dance. He's like, no, put your drink down. I'm like, no, I'm not putting my drink down. So eventually he asks me what's my name. I'm like, my name's Jan. I'm like, what's your name? He's like, I am a Russian experiment. I am just a number. And I'm like, oh my foot. He probably thinks he's cute.
Yeah.
Okay. And I'm like, what is going on here?
How do you answer that? How do you follow that up?
I was just looking at him and I'm like, no, but for real. He's like, no, really, I am. Like, my name's probably Ivan or something. I'm like, what the hell? So eventually I just show him my trizip. He's like, oh, should I just kill you now? But as he's saying this, he's like swaying back and forth. And I'm like, dude, you're so drunk, I can push you over and you're going to die. And then he's like, no, but actually, could you, like, he's like, he wants to go fight in Ukraine. Okay. Can I put him in touch with a recruiter?
Yeah.
Also, he just needs a little bit of help because, as far as he understands, his psychiatrist has to sign off on his mental health. And it's not that great because they had a falling out. So now she won't sign it. And I'm like, what the hell? I mean, I'm just like, no, this is not happening.
People.
So eventually my friends walk in and I'm like, thank you. This was because there was also like some weird ass biker gang at this place. I'm like, I've never seen them there before, but there's also like, and they're just minding their business, okay? They're there in their cuts and they just look like really scary and intimidating, but they're like four guys just drinking their beer and then they got on their Harleys and left, right? But this guy's so annoying. I'm like, I think I'm just gonna go hang out with the bikers and then they hopefully scare him off. But before I could decide that, my friends showed up.
Okay, that's good.
And I'm like, oh my word. I was just like, after that, I'm like, okay, from now on, when someone asks me what I do, I don't know, I'm a teacher.
You teach the
I'm an
stream.
accountant.
Yeah. Anything but, getting Russian experiment. That's great. Yeah, go fight Ukraine and tell people that. See what happens.
Like it's just the most random bar. And I mean, you meet really nice people there, really nice, friendly people. And at the same time, they are so weird. Because you just get this one random dude. And I'm like, what?
Yeah. To be fair, that is kind of like half the bars that foreigners go to in Kyiv as well. It's like sometimes you'll be like, oh, these great people that you meet, and then other times you're like, you're all crazy. Like, this has been an interesting night. Good luck to you. I never want to see any of you ever again. Because some people genuinely are just nuts. And,
absolutely.
It happens. I mean, any friend of mine, Ed, he is like number one, maybe even Ukrainian, at least number one foreign like documentary person of anything DSNS in Ukraine. He's like the guy. If there's ever a question, if I ever need to get in contact with him, he's the guy. He runs a great charity called Fire Aid. They do really great work getting firefighting equipment. And one of the lines he always says is that most foreigners out here are either running towards something or running away from something. And sometimes you will get just only those people who are running away from something, whether it's a past, whether it's not being able to make it in some other field, whether that's, running towards destruction in some cases, because that happens quite a bit, unfortunately.
Yeah.
We're all out here for different reasons, but despite knowing and being part of that Kyiv crowd and having met a lot of them, I'd still like to think that most are out here for good reasons, even if they're not as public as some of the others.
Yeah. It's weird. It's a weird space.
Crazy times we live in.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
The curse of living in interesting times.
Yeah. And then I'm just like, ugh, what now? You know?
Oh, I've given up on that question because there's always an answer. You ask what now, and they go, okay, challenge. I'll give you something.
Yeah. Guys, I do want to remind you, we do have a fundraiser.
Yeah.
For a vehicle. We are 25. Is it 25? Do I need to refresh this? Let me just refresh and double check. Okay, we're actually still at 25% because.
Oh, okay. Is it like right on the edge though?
Let's see. No, actually, previously it was around up to 25 because it was like 24.6, and now it's 25.22. So we are actually at 25% now.
Progress, yes. Vehicles are always the hardest, I feel, because it's so much money just dumped into one. Like, you know, you start looking at breaking it down what it is for separate items, and you're like, shit. But the cars they're so needed. Every time I go out now, every month, it's more and more burnt cars. Where I got FPV'd in like Oleksivo Drushkivka, between Konstantinivka and Drushkivka proper. When I went in there was like one burnt car that we saw. The second time, when Dylan went down there with Bogdan, they were like 10. And those are just ones that they're not able to clear them at that point. But they still need to get in and out of there. And you can't walk everything either by foot or by vampire like drone drop logistics. Like some things you do just need a person or an NRK, one of these ground robots to go back and forth with. But those are also very expensive, more than a car sometimes.
It's crazy. It's just absolutely insane. And for us, we don't just get the vehicle, so we lift the suspension, give it a proper service, not just a quick once over, like a proper service. And then it also includes the anti-drone system.
The rep on there.
The rep, yeah. And with the rep, we're like speaking to the guys and we're like, hey, what is the frequency you want? So we get it like custom made for them and everything.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, because otherwise they just like,
do it.
yeah, but otherwise they just take it off because what they're going to do with it? Like you've got a 2-channel rep system. Great, thanks for the 2-channel rep system, bud. You know?
God, it reminds me, the first drone detector that Dylan and I got, it was a little box, it was 3D printed, and it had a smartwatch inside. And all it did was say, like, this is the drone frequency. There's a drone. Thanks. You're not telling us how close it is. You're not giving us a video signal. You're just saying, drone. That didn't help at all. Like, it's the same thing. I stopped using it because what the fuck was the point? Like, that could be our drone. That could be their drone. We don't fucking know. And, you know, we went into Konstantinivka with it, and it just constantly kept beeping because there's just drones everywhere. They're not after us. They're just there. Like, they're just hanging out.
They're just having a party.
Well, okay. Dylan and I did have a party in Konstantinivka. A year and 2 months ago. We were in Konstantinivka, and the guy we were doing civilian evacuations with, he needed to get someone to the back then Drushkivka was very safe, so he needed to get that person back there to the hospital. They were having a stroke. Not good. So Dylan and I are like, all right, you gotta go. We'll stay here. So we're just hanging out in Konstantinivka under a couple of trees. Just him and I, just chilling. And then we start playing music off of our phone. So we called it like the last rave of Konstantinivka, where we was just sitting under the trees as our drone detectors beep, 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 just jamming out to different music. Like,
Oh my goodness.
there's crazy things that happen. I know
No,
I keep saying that a
absolutely.
lot,
It's
but it's like
it's
I forget sometimes, and I just go, oh yeah, that was kind of silly. Anyway, yeah.
oh, it's I remember when we were in Sumi,
Mhm.
we were there, we slept in the like the house where the media um from the brigade media stays
Mm,
from the
mhm.
67th, right? And at this point, I'm sick. I don't know what, but somehow I got sick. Halina said probably said something about it's me walking around with like wet hair or
Mm.
because I was there
One
in
of those like
winter.
oh, okay. I was gonna say because I was like, there's some things that are like the Ukrainian folk traditions, which is like if you turn AC on once, you get a sore throat, you die. Like it's like, it's like oh, walking around with wet hair kills your immune system or something. But okay,
No,
that
so
maybe.
it was winter, and also I get like hot very quickly. So
Mhm.
she would be like hooded up and everything, and I'd be like in almost short sleeves, right? Not really short sleeves, but like there were times where she's
I
like
get you,
warm, and
man.
I'm
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
and she's like, no, see, this is why I wear so many clothes because
Hmm.
now you're sick and I'm not sick, and I'm like, not helping. I need something because I can't breathe.
Yeah.
So I get something. And now we're eating. The other guys are like, "Oh yeah, you can have our food, right?" But
Mm.
it's Zesu food,
Yeah, it's always a gamble.
and they were like, "Oh no, we actually want to watch you eat. We want to see your face as you eat this," because I'm already like, I've never had crab legs. I've never had crab. And here they give me crab sticks.
Mm-hmm.
You've had their crab sticks, right?
Mm-hmm.
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 The crab sticks, honestly, it like my expectations were so low that it lived up to expectations.
Yeah.
And they were like, no, you should try the cheese.
Mm.
I took a bite. I'm like, am I eating rubber?
Yeah. There's like one good dish, and it's like what is it, like meat and vegetable stew.
Okay.
That's fine. That's fine. Everything else, no.
Zesso chocolate is actually quite nice though.
Is it? I don't think I've had that.
Oh, okay, well, I
Uh,
decided like because we were there for the evening and then the next day, and I was like, cool, I will eat your chocolate. I'm not eating
mhm.
your. So I ate the chocolate. I was like, this, and then I'll have
Oh.
my tea. Thank you. It's like,
So I was out working with an anti-aircraft drone interceptor team. They were from Sumi. They were the 117th Territorial Defense Force.
mhm,
And my philosophy is a very Anthony Bourdain style. If somebody is offering you food from their culture, you take it because they are sharing something important with you.
mhm.
First of all, I'm not a big fan of fish. Second of all, these guys were like, our families just brought us this from Sumi. This is very important to us. And it's a container, like, I don't know, this big, this round, of small, only decapitated little fish, still with scales on. And they were like, this is a big thing here in Sumi. Like, we love this stuff. Like, have one, have two. The next day, I couldn't go to the embed because my body had an emergency evacuation. And it I'm really glad that was one of those cases where it was me, Dylan, and Bogdan. Dylan could go and film that. I was down. I was 300 at that point. I was close to 200 at that point. Like it was that was rough. That was rough. I tried to drink water after about 7 hours, and the water just went in and out. Just bad. That's when I kind of changed the philosophy of if I'm doing frontline work, I'm fine to say no to the cultural foods. That's fine, actually.
Oh my goodness.
The highest highs and the lowest lows this job has, really. Sometimes you're dying in bed because you ate small fish, and other times you're like, this is an amazing opportunity I get to go and do. So,
Also, kind of love how the closest you felt to death was after eating fish.
Dylan orders fish all the time now. He does it in front of me. He orders salmon all the time. He knows what he's doing.
Okay,
He's
but
told
salmon
me.
is different. That's not salmon.
I have a moratorium on all fish.
Okay,
All
got
fish
it,
is
got it.
salmon. So, and he knows this, and he does it anyway. So,
Oh my goodness. Oh, it's
next month I do get to go have a little bit of. I mean, it's work, but it's also fun. Is that we have really good contacts with the Ukrainian Navy, and we are basically going to go down there for 6-ish days, and basically tell them, look, anything you want to show us, we'll take, because it's an area that doesn't get enough attention, and I've worked with them before, both Marines and like Navy proper on the Black Sea on Chernomorsk. So it's one of those things where, our niche is kind of these underreported stories. Oh, well, hey, here's the Navy that very few people like go and talk about in depth. I'll go and
yeah.
talk about them in depth. I'll go see whatever they have to show me. But I will be not having Black Sea seafood even then. So
Oh my
I'm not risking
goodness.
it. I'm not risking it
You're
again.
like, no.
Nope. I'll eat pasta. I'll eat fries if it's the only thing that they have there, So,
What town is it? Can you say or not?
we'll be in Odessa,
Okay.
Odessa proper,
Okay.
and then like driving out to different positions all around. So
I'll send you good restaurant options in Odessa.
that would be very appreciated. I know a
They have
couple, but I'll always take good other ones. So
there's this super good burger joint. Oh my goodness.
yeah,
So good.
that's not seafood. I will take that. So
Yeah, it's proper. And they have a cat.
hey, yes. I miss my cat so much. So
So,
he's
that was nice
back
for
in the
me. I was
US.
like,
He's being a little guy. So
oh. Yeah.
luckily enough, there are enough stray cats around Kharkiv. I can just go pet cats whenever I need to. Just
True,
a
you
little
can get your
alleyway.
cuddles in, yeah. You can get your
Yeah,
cuddles
exactly.
in.
You go in, stay for about 5-10 minutes, pet a cat, give it a little bit of food when no one's looking. Oh, I'm good. I'm good for at least 2 days then. So got my fix.
Oh my goodness. Oh Lord. Okay. You might still have energy. I am running
You're
out.
fading, yeah.
I'm fading.
No problem. Yeah. So I'm used to just staying up and cranking through a bunch of work stuff. So whatever
Okay.
time we want to do it, if there's no more questions, if not, totally, I'm all good then.
Super.
So
Thank you so much for being here
of course,
and
yeah.
for spending the time. I'm looking forward to the rest of stuff. Guys, go check out East West FM. It's in the description. If you do have some money, subscribe to their Patreon. They're almost 6 months old.
Yeah. So we do have a lot of cool things coming. I'm actually happy that our video backlog is taking a couple months to get through, because that means that I won't ever run out of footage, which I put way too much time into these things, way too much months trying to go through and film and do all this stuff. Our next big project, our next kind of big feature length documentary project about these police brigades is about a month or so out, I would say. And it is something that was filmed over 16 different embeds. We have
Wow.
like 12 to 13 interviews that I conducted all throughout this entire process, working with these people very, very deeply. And I think I show they're the only patrol police force in the world to be actively engaged in combat in a official military capacity. So it is something incredibly interesting. These guys are cops with rifles that are doing good work, and it's fascinating to me. But then after that, we have, I mean, frontline firefighting, strike drones, all about them. I filmed something that I will only tease as Donbass Safari. People will have to wait and see what that is. I'm going in filming with the Navy. I just got back with body recovery. We're doing a bunch of very unique stories that I don't know. Otherwise, would other
Go
it would get
uncovered.
lost. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
mean-
that reminds me. The police documentary, the title of it is called Undercover.
Nice.
Nice. I had to get a pun in there somewhere, all right?
Of course.
Yeah. But no, it's always great to be on. Anytime you want to do this going forward in the future, any topic, I'll come back. I might come back if the dirty East Coaster is here. Probably better chance without, but we'll see. We'll take it when it comes. So I appreciate the opportunity.
Thank you so much for being here. And yeah, I hope you have a quiet night.
Yeah. So
Yeah. Awesome.
I hope so too. Same for you, but less bombs there, I imagine.
Yeah. I do live next to a highway though, so I do kind of like everyone with their motorbike, and I'm like, can I do something to you? Thank you.
I'm like, Shahed? Oh, that wouldn't make sense. Yeah.
It's like, really? I'm like, no. Do some ground. Like when I just got back, I'm like, let's do some grounding exercises.
Yeah. It's fine, huh? Yeah.
I'm like, you're in South Africa.
Yeah. Oh, it's real. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Awesome. So yeah, guys, go check out East West FM. Also, go check out Dylan. He's not here, but he's awesome.
No, go check him out. I help him film stuff, so my footage is on there too. It's a redeeming factor, So
I mean, yeah. Okay.
no, Dylan's a good guy. He really is, and he cares, and he does good work, and
his hair is awesome.
It's good hair. Yeah. I can only say so many compliments for him before I get tired. I'm sorry. I understand where you're at now. No energy. It's fine. So.
Okay.